What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Purple People podcast. And I can't believe I'm going to say this. For the fifth year in a row, we're doing a live draft coverage. Welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft. Guys, how are you today? What's going on?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking.
I am trying to figure out how to watch this.
Good luck.
You came to the right place, Adam. I've got my little 32-inch. Looks like I'm watching it on a baked potato. The graphics are awful, but it does. I kind of does the job here. I'm watching Nick Saban and Kirk
That's good.
Herbstreit.
My audio, the computer. That's fun.
Oh, Adam, you're cutting in and out a little bit here.
I've got Adam's Wi-Fi signal
I
up here,
bet.
and it's got a little thing. So we'll see. We'll see if it gets any better for you. Yeah, I'm looking at Desmond Howard, Kirk Herbstreit, Nick Saban at the College Game Day desk. Huge stage in the background. They are in rival enemy territory in Green Bay, but everybody said it was a pretty cool time. There's a ton of people there. It looks like
There's Roger Goodell on a bicycle. What is going on right now? Are you seeing this?
I see some Packers on a bicycle. Who's that? Is it Randall Cobb?
Roger Goodell on a bicycle.
Perfect.
That was not on my bingo card.
There he is. All right, I'm behind you. That's amazing. And they're still going to boo him, which is fantastic. I love that. What the hell is going on? I love that.
Lil Wayne?
He might be. He's a giant Packers fan. It's got to be. I wish you guys could see
Lil
the
Wayne.
graphics for my TV are so bad. It's like when I take my contacts out at night. I just see splotches of colors. Oh, hey, look, a bunch of white guys on bicycles on the stage. Sweet.
Lil Wayne?
That is
Lil Wayne, Adam.
Yeah.
Don't you remember his time with the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, but he is not white.
Yeah, no, now he's on my screen. They brought out all the token whites at the beginning. You can tell with their blazer tops and their sneakers because they're cool and hip. This is funny.
Yeah, so sorry about that a little earlier. I was going from watching on my Xbox to going to watch on the computer here, and I think it's a lot better.
Yeah, your connection seems to have stabilized quite a bit.
Nice. All right, consensus before we get started. We can kind of BS and talk for a little while because I think we all would agree, at least what we've heard, is Cam Ward from Miami is going to Tennessee, number one. There was no trade up. There's not been any action. The only trades that happened were today. It was between the Browns and the Texans, and it was a bunch of swaps for like sixth and seventh and maybe a fifth in there. So I'm not really.
Yeah, was Rick Spielman involved in that trade somehow? Like, what's
Kevin Stefanski hired him for Cleveland, and he's like the ghost GM there now.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, so there's not been any trade-ups. I suspect there's going to be trades, and I'm only regurgitating stuff that I've heard. If you followed the show for any length of time recently, you've heard me say I consume sports media like a drug every single day. Rich Eisen, Cowherd. I've been listening to a lot of Todd McShay lately. Anything that involves the NFL, I just want to hear what's going on. I'd like to get updates there because I don't do Twitter. So, yeah, what I'm hearing is this is a starter draft, not a star draft. So you're not going to get like the superstar, like Hall of Famers. There's not a lot of those, but there are good players. There's just a really large group of like pretty good players. So that's going to shape how things have gone. I think there will be a run on certain positions at some point. I think what we heard before, Adam could probably connect me with this a little better, is defensive tackles and D-line in general. This is kind of a deep draft for that. Not a lot of great quarterbacks. There's top two consensus for running backs. Wide receivers, there aren't like the superstars in this one. So it's going to be a little defense and O-line heavy. But I suspect we're going to see some movement. We just haven't seen any before. Like last year, the Vikings traded before the draft to say, like, hey, we're getting 2 first-rounders. So you knew they were going to do something cool. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Not good.
Oh, he's talking about Trump.
Clay Maskey's talking about Donald Trump.
I didn't hear it. He's just now coming up to the podium. How do I have the app on this TV? And he's just now. I'm like 10 seconds behind.
Hey, you're like way far behind Adam and I. What are you watching
cool.
it? Are Are you actually watching it on a baked potato?
I stuck an antenna in it and it's got signal. Jonathan and Andrew, our consistent listeners on this show, we really appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in. It's going to be a while until the Vikings pick, but that's fine.
Yeah, we're in this
So
one for the
for
long
me, the
haul.
most interesting thing to watch is the whole Sanders watch. I have no idea where he's going to go, where he could go. I'm just sitting here waiting to see what happens.
That's the two stories. Him and Travis Hunter, to me, are the stories to watch in the early part of this draft. It's going to be fascinating to see what team will pull the trigger on either of them. I think Travis Hunter is an extremely talented player. I was thinking about this at work earlier today, too. The NFL has historically had issues with players who are supremely talented but don't have like a defined position. Now, we know he can play wide receiver and corner. That's what he did in college. But sometimes when those guys hit the pro level, they struggle because it's a different game. It's a much more difficult game at the pro level than what it is in college. Like, you are going against grown ass men whose job it is to be better than you. Like that is what they have to do. So I don't, and this is
Sadly,
the
David O might be
conversation.
right there.
The conversation around him is going to be like, do you play him at wide receiver? Do you play him at corner? Or are you expecting him to do what he did in college and do both things? Because historically, like, you don't see that at the pro level.
Shout out to my buddy David. We'll watch on night and trade out first. I wouldn't hate it. They need picks. They only have 4 picks this year. I'm going to go off because Kyle opened the door on this. I want to say a couple of things, so bear with me. This will be a minute or two while I rant. Travis Hunter won the Heisman. I'm not disputing his talents. I think he's a tremendous young man and a tremendous football player. But I think it is absolutely stupid to think a 185-pound kid is going to go in and dominate the NFL on both sides of the ball. I encourage it because I want to see the ground broken and I want to see me be proven wrong. But the league is going to humble the absolute fuck out of this kid when he tries to play wide receiver. If you think about this, I thought about this on the way home today, and I was thinking, like, how can I explain it to someone that just watched football for one season that's very young? Do you really think he's going to go out there and be Patrick Surtain or vintage Jalen Ramsey for the new school players, and he's going to turn right around and be Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson? Get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here. There's
That's
no
what
way.
the projections say.
There's no way. Here's why I'm going to stick my foot in the ground with that. How hard is it just to be one of those? Because
incredibly difficult.
Remember when? And then you're going to tell me not only is he going to practice both sides, but he's going to just be that good, and all the rest of the NFL won't catch on to that. Like, you have to put in so much time and effort at one or the other, and it's not just because, well, I have good ball skills. Dion had good balls. Dion was better than this kid, and he didn't play receiver like that. Now, he did have a good return game, but I just think it's arrogant to say, like, he'll play both sides of the ball and he'll do this. It's like, you hope that he will, but here's the other thing, too, like, just to go off on a major out of left field tangent. If you want to get paid, which is the ultimate goal of what these guys want, they want fame and they want money because they want to be really good at what they do. You're going to need to hone in on one thing in particular and be a superstar. Because Steve Smith had a great quote about it, and I don't remember it off the top of my head, but he's watching him run routes, and he says, he's all right. He's got a couple things he could clean up. He goes, you don't get paid to be a jack of all trades. You don't get a mega contract because you're a jack of all trades. He goes, you get paid when you're an expert at something. So I just don't see it.
Remember,
coach, I'm telling him, hey, I'm going to let you play both sides of the ball, but I'm picking which ones you play, and we'll use you on the other side when I see fit. Because and that's the other thing. He's 80-some pounds. Dude, you're going to be smoked by the end of this. Like, how many games did they play at Colorado this year? Like 14?
Yeah.
Bro, you're going to be playing 18 to 19 games. No fucking chance that he's going to come in and he's going to be number one on both sides of the ball. There's no chance that happens.
So some team within the first 5 picks is going to take a flyer on him because he is intriguing and he is supremely talented. Like, I will never deny him that. I like I said, the guy, and I don't want to call him a gadget player because I do feel like that's doing a disservice to his
Right.
abilities. Like, he won the Heisman for a reason. He's not just a gadget player. But you look at other players in that mold. I mean, Jacksonville drafted Denard Robinson, and when they drafted Denard
You gotta love
Robinson,
when they compare like Cam Ward to Patrick Mahomes and stuff like that.
Oh God,
It's
yeah,
like, really?
it's so
that's
unfair to
not
the
gonna.
kid.
But Denard Robinson was drafted, and Jacksonville listed him as an offensive weapon because they viewed him as he can play quarterback, he can play receiver, he can play running back. Like, he's an offensive weapon. Like, we're going to use him all over the field. Now, I understand that it was a different story with Denard Robinson. He was also a little undersized. There was injury history that came up with him as well too. So, like, it's careers unfold for different reasons, but like, it never worked out for Denard Robinson in the NFL because, like you said, it is incredibly difficult to be that kind of jack of all trades kind of player. The pick is in for Tennessee up on the screen.
So, do you guys think this Cam Ward pick is giving up a little too soon on Will Levis, or were you guys completely out on Levis anyway?
I think the coach was out on him. I think if you watch the body language last year and some of the boneheaded things that he did, and it's tough. I don't want to poo-poo on Will Levis, even though he is a weird guy who puts mayonnaise in his coffee. Had to bring that up one more time. There's some things like you can see the raw talent in some people. Like if we watched Michael Vick come out today, you'd be like, that dude is special. Like the right coach, the right place, he would be an all-star, right? I didn't see that with Will Levis. I saw a big arm, but I saw a bonehead who threw a lot of dumb picks and didn't have a lot of poise in the pocket. If you got a dude that you think can be like a superstar like Cam Ward, yeah, I'm going to go with it because what I've heard all week is the same thing, and it's just rebranded and turned a little bit. Imagine like a dial that has 360 degrees on it. You just turn it two. You can pretty much see the same thing, but the way I'm going to say what I'm going to say, everybody said for the last 30 years. But if you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a chance, right? I don't think anybody watching Tennessee Titan football said, Will Levis gives us a chance to win the Super Bowl. Now, that's
In
not fair to
today's-
him because they don't have anybody else there either, but you got to have a good quarterback, and I understand, like,
Well, that's because
Here's
they
the
also
thing.
moved on from Tannehill and some other guys that I don't know if they were quite ready to move on from.
they
I
shouldn't
think
have
they were a
gotten
bit
rid of
premature in that, and now they're just kind of grasping at straws.
what's the coach that just went to New England? I can't think of him for the life of me.
Vrabel.
They shouldn't have let Vrabel go. I understand that that's not a big market town compared to LA and New York and all that, but when you go to the AFC Championship and you have Derrick Henry and AJ Brown and Ryan Tannehill quarterbacks you to that, hey man, I think that guy knows what he's doing at head coach. We should probably just get really good players and let him do his job, but such is the NFL.
That's official. There's Cam Ward, the Tennessee Titans. You know what, Adam, to answer your question, in today's NFL, if you're not 100% sold on your quarterback, particularly a younger quarterback, at this point, like, you just move on and you draft the next one. You keep throwing those darts at the dartboard until you get one that sticks with it, and that's kind of what
Ooh,
Tennessee
trade
is
is in.
doing.
Browns jump up to number 2.
The Browns up to number 2, weren't they 2 anyway?
No, Jacksonville.
Oh wait, Jacksonville jumped up.
That's Jacksonville up to number 2. Who is
They're
Jacksonville
going to
trading?
get Travis Hunter.
They're trading to number 2 to get Travis Hunter.
Oh dang.
That's interesting.
They are gonna fucking that.
Oh,
To
and they
me,
got Jacksonville's first rounder next year.
wow.
And more.
I still haven't gotten the notification on my screen yet. Cam Ward's walking out.
That's a good haul for Cleveland. I'll be honest, when I was looking at the potential teams that were going to go for Travis Hunter at Jacksonville, we don't know that yet, but that's probably the guy that you're trading up to get. To me, that was like doomsday scenario for where he could land. Like, that's a terrible. They are not going to do shit with him because they are going to do exactly what Smith and I are worried about. They're going to try to use him on both sides of the ball, and they are going to run that kid into the ground, and he is just going to get injured and broke, and it's not going to work, dude. I worry about that fit.
it's not the fit. It's just you can never can project like who is going to be a great coach and who isn't because you don't know. Like coordinators are coordinators. Like who have we seen in recent year that
Who?
was just such a good coordinator but a terrible head coach? Like I've seen the head
Wow,
coach
look
in
at that haul.
Jacksonville. What did they get?
Fifth overall, second overall, fourth overall, and a 2026 first is what Cleveland gets.
Shit.
Jacksonville gave up a second, a fourth, and a sixth.
Fire breather. I was asking in the chat. You said last time I can watch you guys for a while. Why is that? Is everything good? If you can't share, it's fine. We're glad you stopped in. We always love hearing from you. David, you think they want Ashton Genty at 2? I mean, here's what
Would they? That
here's what
I
I'm
mean,
here's what I'm regurgitating this from Daniel Jeremiah. I believe there's only 3 like super high like blue chip players. Like these guys will change it. He said it was Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, and Ashton Genty. They wouldn't be wrong, but the only other running back that was taken second overall in recent memory was Saquon. Do you think he's Saquon? That'd be pretty cool,
yeah.
but I don't know. Be interesting to see. That means Travis Etienne will be done in Jacksonville, I would guess. So, yeah, interesting. Good for Jacksonville for trying to make a move. I can dig that.
If
You
they
go
go
after
with
the guy you want. If he's on the board, you go get him.
Yeah, absolutely.
if they go running back though, if you got Travis Hunter sitting there at 3, I kind of thought the Giants were going to go with Dion's kid. I'd be interested to see like would they hold firm and draft him, or would they be willing to listen to an offer for someone, to trade up and take Travis
Right.
Hunter.
Well, and here's the dynamic of how this would go. Assuming they do take Genty, we'll just say Genty for now because that's an interesting pick. Is now you've got Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter at 3 and 4. That changes everything for New England and New York because
And
they're very desperate. They're 2 similar teams, even though one doesn't have a long term quarterback answer, but they're 2 very similar teams, and either one of those are instant starters on those teams. So
I
that's
tell you
pretty.
what, I kind of like Jacksonville pairing uh, their quarterback up with a young running back. Is that Tony
Well, there
Khan,
are those
Adam?
that believe, in Trevor Lawrence, and there are those that don't. And I don't know which side of the fence you're on, but you got to give them something a little bit more than what they have for weapons. And right now, it hasn't been good. But
Right.
maybe with a little bit of help, he'll look better.
I really want to like Trevor Lawrence. Like I really want to like Trevor Lawrence. I just wish that it
He's
would
that
work
kid
out
to
better.
draft Justin Herbert. He hasn't done shit
Yeah,
except
yeah.
they won a playoff game, but I don't know if it was necessarily because of him.
Ooh, the pick is in for Jacksonville.
Who do you guys think? Is it Hunter or is it Genty?
You kind of sold me on the running back, dude. That's a
I'm
good
pretty
fit.
sure it's Hunter. I think they like his athleticism. They like his versatility. I think that's where they're going to go.
I think it is too. I don't think the running back's going to go as high as 2, but that's cool. We were talking just before we started. There's no trades, and then right after number 1 is in, Jacksonville comes up and makes it. That's cool. Love that.
Oh, I love when there's drama in the draft. You
Absolutely.
can sit here and you can do all the mock drafts that you want. Man, it just takes one big trade to throw everything off.
That's why you can never
I like
do these.
watching the moms in the green room.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I think that's amusing as all heck.
That's also why you can't do like none of these mock drafts. I'd like to look back in all the mock drafts, and I'd like to see who nailed the first round completely because I don't know if it's ever been
If
done.
anyone's ever gotten one right.
Because you can't, and it's not any fault of being like you guys are dumb. Like
So
I think Mel Kiper is a fucking gas bag. I'm happy that he has a career, but he never gets any of that shit right. But then when you break it down, like
No.
I'm shitting on Mel Kiper, and it's like nobody's ever nailed a first round draft before. Like
Mike Mayock used to be pretty good about getting the players in the correct order, but there would always be like a trade that would. So it might be a different team drafting the player in a different order than what you thought, but he was
correct.
usually pretty good about nailing like, hey, here's your top 10 picks.
Here we go.
Ooh,
It's Travis Hunter. It's got to be.
look at the
is this large man presenting with him? Good God.
Looked like a bunch of Vikings fans in the front row, too.
David, you go down that different path. I support you on it. I hope these teams keep doing this where they just start picking before their time is up. That's awesome.
Yeah, me too. Let's move this along.
Hey, I'll tell you how old I am. I took off work tomorrow because I knew we'd be up till midnight doing this, and I'm like, I'm not going in sleepy.
Fuck, remember when it used to be, what was it, 15 minutes for the first?
Oh
Like you had
God.
15 minutes on the clock, they shortened it to 10.
I do hate how much they make a huge show out of this now, and they just
I
make
get
it.
Oh
impatient,
no, it's
Justin.
Duval.
Duval. I had to dig out my favorite hat for this too.
The upside down Vikings hat.
I had to go
Yeah,
look for it.
I got my JJ McCarthy jersey on today.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got a stained black T-shirt.
Yeah, you do. Mm-hmm.
Just announce the pick. Good God. Stop talking. I'm like Adam. I get impatient with this stuff.
It's annoying.
Of course, I could probably go on Twitter and they probably have the next 4 picks already in already. That does
You
ruin
mean
it
X?
a little bit. It's Twitter. I'm not calling it X. I'm just not doing that.
All right.
Here we go.
Jacksonville.
Trying not to ruin it for Smith, who's about 15 minutes behind
I see
Adam
it.
and I here.
I see it now. So I have it up on my TV, and it's way behind, but I have you guys split screened on my computer. So pink suit, nice. I like it. And
This
hey, let
kid-
me say this from
Hey.
earlier because I wanna make sure like I put it out there. I feel better about saying it. I'm not shitting on Travis Hunter saying he's not going to be a good NFL player, but to think that you can play at like I said at Jefferson and Pat Surtain level, like come on, dude. These guys are
He's
good.
got good energy to him.
Oh, I love it.
He does. He's a good kid. He is
I'll tell you this.
supremely talented to be able to do what he did.
Kyle agrees with me too. He's the only one at Colorado who deserves to have their jersey retired. Shador didn't do fucking anything,
Yeah,
and
look how
hate that.
His energy is infectious. Like that is a guy that you want in your locker room because look at him dancing up there on stage. That's fantastic. Like that's the kind of energy that's infectious, and like you want that like out there on the field. He is very very talented.
And now is when things kind of go off the hook a little bit because I have no idea what happens after this.
I don't know either, dude.
My buddy David says I was wrong. Also, very, very good Chris Stapleton song. You should check it out. Even if you don't like country music, it has a good blues flair and rock and roll sound to it. Highly recommend you check that song out.
I think how you use him best in the NFL is you have to convince him to pick one side of the ball, wide receiver. You're going to be 90% of your snaps at wide receiver. We need you to be elite on that side because we traded up and drafted you number 2 overall. And we're going to use you on like a package at corner, maybe, fourth down, maybe goal line. Like we'll get you out there. Like I think that's best case scenario for him.
Mm-hmm.
Worst case is he is able to just convince the coach, I'm going to play offense. I'm going to play defense. You can put me on special teams. I'll do it all. And he ends up not being worthy of the number 2 overall pick because he's trying to overreach at it. But I'm excited to see him try.
If he proves me wrong, I'll eat shit and I will absolutely say, like, I look like a fool. He proved me all wrong. But I just don't see and the main thing, like, why I say this is I just don't want him to get hurt because he's not huge. Like, if you were Julio Jones body type, I'd say go for it. But man, that frame bothers me. But there's no denying he has ball hawk skills, and
Oh, he
he's
does.
he's going to be a starting corner for
Do
Jacksonville for sure day one. I just worry about, and that's the other thing too. You want to be a really good wide receiver. Guess what you got to do? You got to catch the ball and you got to score touchdowns. Is Sunshine going to do that for him? Is he the guy?
Oh, Giants got
do
their pick in already.
Nice.
is it Sanders? Do you think they go quarterback? I think they're going quarterback.
I think they go Abdul Carter. They signed
Not here.
Winston and Wilson. They have Bridges for the year. I think they're getting Abdul Carter. Their defensive line might be just as good as Phillies if they get him too. That's fucking crazy. Dexter Lawrence, who'd they get? Brian Burns from Carolina. I think they're gonna take Abdul Carter here. They got another great edge player. Like the New York Giants line, if they pick Abdul Carter, is disgusting. Oof.
Do you believe the rumors that Sanders is going to fall in the draft? That a lot of teams kind of fell out of love with him, and that maybe he didn't interview well or didn't have a good pro day. Like,
I
is
think
he
so.
gonna? Is he in for a fall? Like, are we going to be sitting here when the Vikings are on the clock
Well,
going?
this is what I think.
Sanders is still available.
This is what I think, Kyle. I think his honest grade wasn't going to be third overall because he's not that good. You know who I see as him because he doesn't run around a lot, even though he is athletic. He was Teddy Bridgewater. He's accurate, doesn't have a huge arm, but if he's got a good line, dude, he can play quarterback. Absolutely
Is
can.
he?
And
He can
the
play.
best thing
Yeah.
for him would be is go to an established team because if you're just kind of like good but not super great,
You
you don't
know,
want to go to a dog shit team. Like they're going to be terrible. Go to somewhere where they have an established. And look what they got in Pittsburgh now. You got DK Metcalf and God, what's it? Pickens. You got good weapons there.
So here's something fun. Apparently, the Jacksonville Jaguars have not contacted Travis Hunter since the combine.
oh,
Oh, nice.
that's an old school
So
Rick
that's
Spielman.
really interesting.
That's an old
Funny.
Rick Spielman tactic. He did that a couple times too, where like you have no contact with the player.
Fire breather. We're gonna go. We have a lot of free time on the live draft show, so I'm gonna tell you now. I would never sell you on anything. I've been out of the military for almost 6 years, so I have nothing to gain. I will tell you this, and this is a general term. This isn't like left or right of anything, but if you're an electrician, if you're cool with being stuck on a boat, I wouldn't like that as much. I would tell you to go in the Air Force, and after they make this pick, I'll tell you why. The quality of life will be a little bit better. You're going to
And
get
the
paid the
pick
same.
is in, and it is Abdul Carter, edge rusher
God,
from
what
Penn
a
State.
nasty line they're going to have. Good God. They're comparing him to Micah Parsons. And wow, good for him.
So that kind of puts Sanders in play a little bit with Cleveland coming up here again.
Abdul Carter, game record from Penn State, unanimous All American. Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter.
Whew.
I wish my buddy Donnie and Matt were here. They could tell me who else.
That draft hallway is kind of long, isn't it?
All right, I'm going to talk military a little bit with Fire Breather here while we're on the show. So yeah, you'll get that after you get out of school. You'll get a slight pay bump. It's nothing special, but you'll be slightly ahead of your peers. I'll tell you why I didn't choose the Navy. You might be stuck on a boat for like 8 to 12 months at a time, and that to me just like turned me off completely. You probably will promote a little faster in the Navy, but I know from my experience and talking with my friends in the Marine Corps, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force has a better quality of life. It's always been that way. The dormitories and the barracks are always nicer. The food is always nicer. The perk with the Navy is most of the time, I don't know about your job. They kind of need electricians everywhere, but most of the time you'll be in a coastal town. But I really enjoyed my time in the Air Force, man. If it wasn't for having a child that I really wanted to father, I probably would have done 20. I would have been at 18 years this year, and I could have retired at 39, which would have been crazy. But um, I was stationed in Charleston, South Carolina for 4 years, Langley, Virginia, and Hampton Roads, and El Paso, Texas for 4 years. So I've been around the coast and then out in the middle of the country in the desert. And I would advise you to go overseas. Go overseas every chance you can because the world is huge in comparison to probably where you're from, and you need to go get cultured and educated and all that fun stuff. Wow, I'm not in shock. I told my neighbor, it's funny. I wish you guys could see the text. My neighbor is a Giants fan. He goes, "Who are you guys picking?" I was like, "I don't know. I literally have no idea." He's like, "I want." He wanted the running back. I was like, "You're not getting the running back." He's like, "Who do you think we're getting?" He's like, "You're getting Abdul Carter." And he gave me that throwing up emoji. I was like, I'm going to have to teach you about football. You obviously don't know ball." And he's like, "That's rude." I was like, "Well, you would understand, like, if you wanted Micah Parsons on your team, you're about to get him." He's like, "Yeah, I don't know about paying him, though." I was like, "You don't have to pay him for 5 years if you get him in the first round." So, congratulations, New York.
This is kind of the first year in a long time that you're right that I really don't know who they're going to pick.
The Patriots. Who would the Patriots pick here? Ashton Genty would be
There were a lot of reports, like experts talking about how the Patriots have always been a team that never lets people know what they're doing. And I found that to be true as well, so when they're on the clock, I got no idea what they want to do. I mean, they got that Rhombus Stevens guy at running back or whatever his name is. So I doubt it's going to be a running back.
Is it Ramondre? He said Rhombus. That's fucking hilarious.
Ramondre Stevenson.
That's hilarious. I think the sexy pick for Drake May to add a weapon there, because they did get Diggs, I believe, but the sexy pick would be a wide receiver or a running back. But
Are they really showing Sanders' draft room and there's nobody in there?
It just popped up on the screen for me. Oh my god.
I wasn't paying attention. I'm disappointed I missed that.
Canton, Texas. Yeah, I wouldn't sit in there either. He'll talk when he gets drafted, but that's hilarious. I think the move here for New England is offensive tackle. So whoever your top tackle is, you got to protect Drake May. I'm still pissed he's not a Viking. I remember this feeling last year, wanting him and him getting taken at 3, and I was very, very upset. I think it'll be a tackle here. That would be probably the smart move. So, Fire Breather, you're from Ohio. I understand. Yeah, get out of Ohio. Go see everywhere. I went overseas 5 different times.
Just in general, get out of Ohio.
Yeah, just get out of Ohio. As long as you get out of Ohio, you've won life. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, just go see everything, man. You're welcome. And, reach out to the podcast thing. If you could, I don't know if we have for friends on there. Send me a message on Instagram if you have it. NC Dog Dude. Like, I'll answer anything you have because I worked with all the services many times. My first base in Charleston, there's a naval base down there, and I actually worked on the naval base doing security, and I was military police. So before I became a canine handler for like over a year, I worked on the naval school down there. It's like the submarine school, and had a good time. But yeah, there's just little quirks. It all depends on like you're going to be doing the same thing. Pretty much everywhere. You're going to learn about weapons, learn about your job. There'll be a rank structure. You get a lot of good life lessons, but it's really like what's your flavor that you want. And I just know everyone made fun of the Air Force. They called us the chair force, and they said we were soft. And I was like, I do get better living conditions, and I make the same amount of money as you, and I'm smarter than you are. So at the end of the day, that was really fun for me. And I got to do the badass job in the dorky branch. So I kind of got the best of both worlds. But whatever you want, man, send me any and all the messages.
I know who the Patriots are picking. I will not spoil it. But the internet has told me, the internet of knowledge has told me who they are picking. But we have commercials to do here first, folks, because capitalism.
I'm texting my old neighbor. Shout out to Wes. I grew up with him. He goes, "Is this the NFL draft or the Shadur Sanders promotion show? What the fuck?" So we're all laughing because there's an empty room they're showing. Even he doesn't give a shit about tonight.
Well, I just lost my stream.
Boo.
Oh, Adam.
Hi, bud.
Not related to anything, but did you guys see the photos and the videos of retired NFL player Aaron Donald, who looks like he could still go out there?
He 100% could go out and play today and beat the shit out of everybody.
Quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah. He is in just monster shape.
Isn't it
Like,
crazy to look at his frame? Because like standing next to all of us, he looks like huge and a giant. But next to all the O linemen who are all 6'7", 300 pounds. Isn't it crazy how undersized he was, and they had to double team him every fucking game? Isn't that weird? Just to be that strong, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. Hey, what do you want? Your breath stinks. You know that? My old dog comes over here and just smiles and breathes in my face. It smells like fish food. You know that? He's got to get surgery. My lovely dog you guys always see in the background of the show. He's got a little tumor on his elbow. We got to get that taken off.
aw,
Luckily, it's only like skin related, so I don't think it's going to spread. They said, but you dogs, all you do is break my heart. You know that? Don't be a dog handler, fire breather. Dogs are assholes. They're not here long enough. Kyle, don't you have a golden retriever or a lab?
yeah, yeah. I got a golden retriever.
Oh, those are the best breeds. Oh, they're funny.
They're so smart and or dumb at the exact same time.
Yeah, that looks like an offensive lineman.
Yeah, they drafted an offensive lineman, which is, I think, the right move for them. You got to protect your quarterback.
I'm 4 for 4 so far. Let's go, boys and girls. Just hire me as your next general manager. I did the most obvious thing you can do, and I should get
with
praise for it.
with Cleveland on the clock, and I have not checked Twitter and or X, whatever you want to call it now. I am curious if they go quarterback, if they go with Dion's kid right now. Like
I think they could
I
shift it up and go after Genty right here.
yeah,
Do they have Nick Chubb still?
I believe so.
Interesting.
I love getting text messages from work right now while I'm trying to not be at work. That's fantastic.
This is a good one. Do you think the Cousins talk is true? I'd rather get Sam Howell from the Seahawks.
I
I
don't
am.
think there's any truth to Kirk.
I think he wants
The
to
Vikings ain't
start.
paying $20 million for Kirk. No.
Well, it's not only that he wants to start, and I just don't. I don't see that being like. It doesn't make sense for him to come back if he still has something left in the tank. And what it would make sense for is a team like if Cleveland needs a quarterback and they don't end up taking one now, or they're not satisfied with Bill Cosby and Kenny Pickett on their team. They want to go get another quarterback. Okay, well, you can trade for him, but yet, like Adam said, you're going to have to eat some of the money because Atlanta's not going to pay him to play somewhere else. Like they're not going to do that. So he makes sense to me in Cleveland the most because he has a history with Stefanski, and I know he can beat out Kenny Pickett for a starting job. Who else needs? Atlanta's not going to trade with New Orleans. New Orleans is going to do a division thing especially for a quarterback. Who else needs one? Pittsburgh would make sense if Aaron Rodgers doesn't go there, but I don't know if they'll pay. That's pretty much it. Cousins is at the end of his rope.
I think we'll see some action on the backup quarterback after the draft when the signings won't count against the compensatory pick formula.
Correct.
Yep.
It's Ryan Tannehill, right? For the Vikings
It's gotta be.
quarterback.
It needs to be him or Carson Wentz. I'd feel great, mentoring JJ McCarthy, and especially Wentz. Wentz has went through everything. Like he's got a ring. He had an MVP year till he tore his knee apart. He's coached under Andy Reid and it wasn't Reid the coach at the time. Was it Nick Sirianni while he was there? No. Doug Peterson helped them win a Super Bowl the first time in Philly. So he's got a lot of experience. I do like Sam Howell a lot, being a Carolina fan, but I don't want them to trade any picks for him unless it's a late rounder. I don't know. You could push him to start. Let's see here. Browns pick is in. So this is where it goes crazy. I don't think Shador is number 5 overall. I don't think he's worthy. There are better players there.
I don't think he should be, but this is also the Cleveland Browns we're talking about.
They did also get a first-round pick next year. So if that's your dude, go after him, I guess. I don't know.
I'm glad that I'm wearing our dude right now, and it's JJ McCarthy. and that we don't have to have this conversation. That, like, I feel pretty good about our young rookie quarterback. Don't you guys?
I don't know. I'm just trying to watch it again.
I was reading Fire Breather's comment. I appreciate that, man. Let go and he wants to serve. Here's the thing, too, man. I'm sorry. I don't want to hijack the show. This shouldn't about me, but if I can mentor anybody, I'm going to do it because it's the right thing to do. I don't know how old you are, Fire Breather, but I can tell you I got a degree while I was in. I didn't pay a dime for it, which is great. You'll get free college out of that. You'll get um, some good, I wouldn't say good, but you'll get free medical and health care there. And depending on how long you stay in, we can talk later, but the traveling the world, getting a free place to live, and then getting free school is enough on top of getting paid. You're not going to make a lot of money, but you're going to get opportunities, especially when you get out. You have that veteran's preference on a lot of jobs. Like, it'll help you a ton because they know you've had accountability to show up on time and do your job, and you have discipline of some sort. So 27, 28 July. Yeah, you're still young. God, I'd give anything to go back 10 years. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oof.
According to the old Bleacher Report,
Okay.
Travis Hunter is expected to play offense and defense in Jacksonville. So there you go, Smith.
Oh, I'm sure he will. I have no doubt that he will. It's I'm going to be like generational there. It's like, I don't know about that. I think it would serve somebody better to be just fantastic at one thing because it's hard in the NFL. It's so hard to do more than one thing. But
yeah, I know.
But you know what? If he proves me wrong, dude, I'll gladly be like, I look like an asshole now. Whatever.
I don't know who Cleveland is taking, and I am legitimately excited to see the defensive tackle. There you go.
Is Ashton Jeanty a Las Vegas Raider? He's such a Raider. Who's this guy? Where's he from? Put the name up on the screen. Jesus.
Defensive tackle from Michigan, Mason Graham.
Mason, okay, nice. I forgot his last name. Put the fucking name on the screen, NFL Network. What are you doing? Jesus.
There we go.
Being extremely rude. Again. Being extremely rude to your deaf audience, NFL.
Yeah, I was going to mention that too. Trying to watch this with closed captioning on, and the closed captioning is exactly over top of the sports ticker on the bottom of the screen, is like, I don't know how you were expected to read one or the other text when they're just overlaid on top of one another. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Cleveland surprised me on going with defensive tackle here. You know that?
He's supposed to be a game ready.
Oh, he's a big disruptive guy, though. I get it. As we've seen in Minnesota, sometimes it can be a little too easy to get over and through a center.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. The pick is in. The Raiders sprinted to get that pick in. Ashton Jeanty, you are a Las Vegas Raider.
Oh, yeah.
100%. That's a Pete Carroll pick if I've ever seen one.
Oh, I forgot. He is the head coach of the Raiders now, isn't he?
He sure is.
Boy, that's weird. That's weird, dude.
You have an adult at quarterback who is fine. He's middle of the pack. He's good. And Tom Brady.
Spoiler. Yeah,
he's fine.
Sorry, spoilers, but they're taking the running back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't they get that tight end last year? It was like basically their number one receiver. What the hell is his name? He's damn good as a rookie.
Crosby?
No, I forgot. They got fucking Max Crosby there. Like, they might be making some moves, dude.
Yeah. Who's their quarterback? Who do they have at quarterback?
Geno Smith for 2 years.
Geno.
Not bad for a bridge, dude. He got a little career revival there in Seattle. I like it.
He did.
Yeah, Brock Bowers has been an absolute beast for them.
That's who it is. Monster.
Bowers, thank you. Yep.
Brock Bowers. They got Max Crosby on the defensive side. He got a big contract, which is awesome. They need a receiver, but if you got Jeanty, I mean, you can do some old school football that way. You just fucking pound the ball until
But the Raiders did lose a running back this offseason that's going to hurt him.
Don't
Alexander
do it.
Madison
Don't do it,
is
dude.
now actually in Jacksonville, I believe.
In AEW or like the Jaguars?
He's wrestling over there. He's at Triple H's school for wrestling. God. Dude, it's popped up on my feed a lot lately, man. I thought of you guys because you're still big into wrestling and whatever. Rhea Ripley's popped up in my For You page for
Oh, I
doing an
bet.
interview with the girl who does UFC promotion. She always talks with the fighters before, and I laugh just like watching because she looks completely different without makeup versus her like in
Oh,
ring
I
setup.
know.
Yeah, of course, of course. Adam laughed and made fun of it. It's like, I bet she did. Like, yeah, fuck yeah, she's hot as hell. But
I would like to thank her for introducing me to the band Motionless in White. I had not heard
oh
of
yeah,
them before.
oh
They
yeah.
do her entrance
Well,
song, and I'm
TKO
like,
owns WWE, so you're going to see a lot of that interaction between MMA and WWE in the future.
I think they
yeah,
linked
it
up
was.
because of ESPN, but they're like UFC is now doing contract talks on their pay per view stuff. But yeah, they linked up the UFC and WWE. I guess under the same management. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
yep.
Mhm.
Same ownership group. We live in this weird reality where Dana White was at WrestleMania doing a video package talking about that, and Vince McMahon is no longer involved in the company at all. Like
Why? What happened?
this is
Something bad happened? Give me some details.
we can't talk about the Vince McMahon thing. We will get taken off
No.
every platform.
Wasn't he taking
Like
dumps on people and stuff?
he
Wasn't it
was.
something weird like that?
Yes, he was. It was a big old number two, and
He's such a disgusting piece of shit. Why is it that everybody from the old school wrestling business was either addicted to drugs, domestic abusers, or they're just like, hey, after we bone, can I take a poop on you? Like,
what's
what happened to
funny,
just having a beer and like just having regular sex? Is that
yeah,
still a cool thing, or is that just
what's
like,
funny.
is
Well,
that
it's I
weird
mean
now? Is that the weird thing now?
So
yeah,
boring.
it's it's not funny, but you guys know what I'm gonna mean here is that like when that story broke, literally everyone was like, "Yeah, that checks out. Like that seems like something he would do."
Nobody
No one
disputed
was.
it.
Yeah, no one
Oh
was
my god!
shocked. Everyone was just like, "Yeah,
What's
yeah,
the
that
guy's
seems
name?
like
What's the piece of shit from Hollywood that was always groping the actresses? Is that what Vince McMahon is for the WWE? Is he the
oh yeah,
fucking? Is he
Kevin
the handsy,
Spacey,
crabby piece of shit from? No, what's the director?
Harvey
Not the director.
Weinstein,
The
Harvey
Harvey
Weinstein."
Weinstein. Is he the
Roman
Harvey
Polanski?
Weinstein Entertainment?
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
too.
Is that what he
Yeah,
is, dude?
I can't believe you didn't hear any of that.
No, I did. I absolutely did. I was joking
Yeah.
with you. Yeah, he's just a turd. He's just a terrible human, which is crazy because it's weird for a guy like me. Like I grew up loving and I've watched it probably 7 or 8 times now. I'm like unashamedly. I loved Shawn Michaels growing up. I wanted to be him. I was a dorky little skinny, well, skinny when in my later years, but pudgy kid with glasses. I wanted to be the dude that chicks liked. I was like, I want to beat everybody up and be a chick magnet, of course. And then you watch the documentary. I'm like, Shawn Michaels was a piece of shit until he got
Yeah,
his back. He was an asshole. And watching the documentary there, and then you hear like Triple H saying like, "Oh yeah, he was actively going to Vince's office and telling him to fuck himself." Like, I'm not doing that.
yeah,
And the saddest thing I think I remember hearing was when he was really addicted to pills, and like Triple H was his only, light in his life. He said, "I wish I would have just OD'd and died a couple of years ago. I would have been the biggest rock star in the world." And I'm like, "Good lord, man!" He was actually that down and out about it? But um, man, it's crazy. Like seeing those guys, those people. Like I don't want to say they raised me. I had good parents, but that was what I remember from my youth was like staying up late on Monday night when I wasn't.
NFL comparison, Emmitt Smith.
Woo,
Wow.
nice. I'm over here giving like a heartfelt speech about Shawn Michaels on draft night. I didn't have that shit on my fucking. I am. I found a nice rendering and bought it online. But the next tattoo I'm getting is the one that was on his bicep.
yeah. You're
The
getting that.
sword through the heart with a snake. Absolutely, I am. Absolutely. And I'll put it up there too while we're still talking about wrestling. Like obviously, Stone Cold when the glass shatters, there's not going to be a bigger pop than that. But I will argue top three outside of maybe The Rock and maybe now John Cena for how big he is. When you hear that, dun, 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 when you hear the Shawn Michaels, the whole place goes fucking nuts. I'll never forget that, man. I watched WrestleMania 12 when he came out of the rafters, and I was like, that's the coolest shit I've ever seen. I don't know. You guys got to give me something else to talk about. I'll talk about Shawn Michaels all night. How innovative was Hell in the Cell when it first came out?
I'm trying to
Chris
promote
Jericho
our.
invented Hell in a Cell.
There's another guy we don't have to talk about. Ooh, some demons. Just don't get a crown tattoo. A crown tattoo? What am I missing there, Andrew?
Like the gang sign? Like the crown tattoo?
Make sure you get an upside down pineapple tattoo.
I will not be doing that either.
Ugh.
Boy, those Raider fans are happy.
Nice.
How far away are we from the Vikings pick? Forever?
They probably aren't picking today.
Yeah, honestly, probably not. It really does feel like they could trade back into the second round.
My buddy Wes is watching. He's like, calm down, dick riding HBK on this thing. I don't know what else to talk about. I don't. Here's for the Vikings later. I'm going to shift it to us because we barely talked about the Vikings. Obviously, it depends on how the draft falls, but like, how do we want them to trade back and get more picks, or was it like, do we just stick and pick? I think the only glaring need is secondary. I like our corners. I don't love them. I don't like that Harrison Smith is 100 years old playing safety, but he's still pretty good. Like, I'm glad he's back. Don't get me wrong. I'll always want him to play, but like, I think
Minnesota's going to miss Bynum.
Absolutely.
I don't think people really realize what Bynum was for this defense.
He's going to be wearing 0 in Indianapolis, by the way. Shout out to my buddy Matt out in Nashville, one of my Air Force dudes now in TSA with me. He's a big Colts fan, and he keeps me updated. Fun thing about my friend Matt was he was in Minneapolis as a handler at their airport, so he's like low key a Vikings fan from being up there, and he's like updating me today. I was like, thank you for filling me in on my old players, man. I like that, but yeah. A safety would be great. I've seen we talked about it on the last show. Starks. I don't know if that's the Georgia kid. I keep seeing the kid from Texas, the corner, falling that far. I'd love to have him there. He's a big dude, but I don't see him lasting that long. I feel like the Packers picking right in front of the Vikings are going to take the player that I really want because that's what always fucking happens. But we'll see.
We'll see if the Packers take another undersized defensive back. That seems to be their thing.
Yeah, Wes is talking about both of our childhoods. Dude, I used to stay up in Raw. I would put a towel down at my door so the light wouldn't shine underneath there so I could stay up late and watch Raw on mute. That's back in the day when you had like Sable was on there and you're like, I wonder if they're going to show cable TV tonight. Of course they're not, but when you're 10 years old, you don't care. You're like, I love it. This is the best thing I've ever seen. That's hilarious. If Kenneth Grant is available at 24, would you guys take him? What position does he play, Fire Breather? Because we're professionals here, and we don't know who that kid is and what position he plays. Man, I'm not sure.
Well, the Jets pick is
defensive tackle.
Kenneth Grant is a defensive tackle.
I had to move over to NFL Network, so that's what I'm going with now, I think. Oh, no, wait, I am still on ESPN. Never mind.
Nice. I was going to get on my phone for something, and I forgot. Damn it. Oh, Fire Breather, I got to send you a message. Yep. Got you. I saw your stuff earlier. All right. Let's see. Kenneth Grant. Here, Jets pick is in. Let's see who the Jets take.
Getting that offensive line working.
They're trying to build for Arma Membu. Nice. Heard his name a bunch. Trying to help Justin Fields out. I have poo-pooed all over Justin Fields for years.
I totally forgot they had Justin Fields at quarterback.
Oh, wow. So the higher up you get, it says now they only have 3 minutes to pick. How long have they been waiting?
Yeah.
This is wow, hell yeah. Good job, NFL, making this stuff go by fast. Wes, if you're watching, what do you want your Panthers to do? We'll talk about it on here. He said my beard's catching up with that gray. Bro, if you hadn't seen this shit, I'm only 37. Look at this shit. I mean, it's just for men can't save me anymore. It's fucking white. I
The
blame my
pick
dad
is
for my
in
gray hair.
for the Carolina Panthers.
That's crazy.
Already, I like it.
Who do the
You're not going
Panthers
to do the
need?
John Cena hair treatment, Smith?
I'm not going. Yeah, I'm not flying to Turkey this summer. Getting that shit done. Luckily, it's not falling out, but I just can't. I can't bring it down. Like some guys have told me to do the just for men and diet. I'm like, then you'll know I did it. I'll show up to work one day and my hair will look completely different than it has my
Yeah.
entire adult life. Like, no, dude, I'm just gonna get old and
I
deal with it.
I don't give a shit. That's my mentality. It doesn't matter.
Former teammates JJ McCarthy. I have to look. I don't know. I'm trying to do 10 things at once here. Kenneth Grant. Defensive lineman. You know, I've seen defensive linemen to the Vikings on some of these mock drafts, and it makes sense with how the guys that they signed are a little older. I'm never going to hate a rotational thing because then you start doing the Seattle thing when they had like they called it the NASCAR package. They kept referencing that this week when you just have stud after stud after stud and you never take your foot off the gas on the defensive line. Like sign me the hell up for that as long as Brian Flores is here, but I I think they did an okay job with addressing the offensive line this year because they stole those two linemen from the Colts. But I want to see them if they went offensive lineman at 24. I wouldn't hate it because you're putting all your eggs in the JJ McCarthy basket, and you got to protect that kid. So
Yeah, you're right.
I don't
I
know if there's a
don't
guard worth taking that high in this draft, really.
I don't either. I don't know if they and you're not gonna you don't really need a tackle, but I'm okay with depth, but I think they got to go secondary. If they stick and pick, they're probably going to go
I thought
secondary.
you said you were okay with death. I was like,
Death?
well,
Not
that's
yet. I'm
that's one
trying.
way to. Adam, can we turn this into a Walking Dead podcast?
I haven't watched in years, but I think I know enough about it to where I could talk.
I've been rewatching Walking Dead. I bought the complete collection. I just finished all of season 1 and the first episode of season 2. I gotta say, it's really good. I remember why I was a really big fan of that show.
Are you watching The Last of Us?
Yes, I am. I am
Because
all cut
this
up on.
new season has a very Walking Dead feel to it.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I liked it. I was gonna tell Smith. Smith, have you seen any of The Last of Us on
No, but
HBO?
I hear great things.
It had a moment that I was like, this is a Kyle Smith moment. He would appreciate this moment. So they are
Yeah,
in
they've
their
killed all the
town.
dogs.
Yeah, they were in their town. They were in their little community. Their community is getting, hey, we here come all the zombies. They're breaking in. They're breaking down the barricade and coming in. And there's a point where one of the characters gets to where they have all their attack dogs and like opens the gate, and they all come out, and they come out fucking full force, and they are like taking shit down, like ripping necks out, and like I'm like, holy shit, like.
They
That's
got a
cool.
throat rip
And
in.
You know, the
yeah.
fun part is when those dogs are with a handler and they turn around because they're still angry and they bite you. That happened to me a dozen and a half times. And
Well, it's an animal.
I wanted to punch all of those kids in the face and say, "Thank you for the nerve damage, you asshole. Appreciate that." I love these dogs, man. I don't know how I
All right,
wound
so
up
the
here.
Panthers should not be taking a quarterback here, but I don't really know. They need pretty much anything else.
I'll tell you the thing they did in the offseason that was crazy. They made J.C. Horn one of the highest paid defensive players, and he's okay, but he's not that good.
Well, that's the NFL that we live in. If you're okay, but you're the next guy up to get a contract, you momentarily become the highest paid player at your position in the NFL because that's just what we do now.
every time we say it, and I start to agree with you because there is a percentage of what you're saying that is true. I have to remember how much money annually the NFL makes, and I'm like, good for these guys because they're
Yeah,
making
I
money
mean,
off of
yeah.
I'll admit, I
on-field
didn't think
talent.
Kirby Joseph was going to get that massive contract he got from the Lions.
Fuck Kirby Joseph, piece of shit. I hate that motherfucker. I'll be taking out our
Little
players.
aggressive.
Nope, fuck him. He did it to two. He did it to two different players. He's a dirty piece of shit. I wouldn't expect anything more from the Dan Campbell lineage and the New Orleans ties he has. Asshole. I'm just angry. I have no reason. People are catching strays right now for no reason. I'm still bitter about
Why bite knees when you can
2017.
just destroy them?
Yeah, we're not going to bite your knees. You just have to have reconstructive surgery on them. I'm glad they shit the bed and lost at home in the first round they were in. Fuck them.
This is why Pat McAfee is the best. On Twitter, if you just tweet it out, the Jets are never going to win a Super Bowl.
Did he really just say that?
I think it's part of some segment they're doing, but it's still hilarious.
That's awesome. My favorite is Ty dressing up like he's Mel Kiper. When they pick Jordan Love,
I
Interesting.
think
that's one of the funniest segments I've ever seen when they pick Jordan Love.
so. The TV
Do
is
they
on
Oh,
Carolina.
Ted McMillan.
McMillan as being a number one?
He'll be the number one for this year, but like I saw him projected to go to the Cowboys. Not this high. They do need a receiver.
Is he going to come in
Are
and
you?
be better than Adam Thielen?
That's just where I was going to go with that, Adam.
Only because of his age, possibly. I am Ron Burgundy? Question mark. Only because he's young and fast now. Yeah, that is interesting.
It's a little early of a pick for me, but I get why they did it.
New Orleans. All right, this is the first team coming up that could take Shadur Sanders because we don't know what's going to happen with Derek Carr. Kind of weird
He
saying.
sucks. So
Well,
even if you knew what was going to happen with him, like you should just replace him anyway.
oh shit. He's not the best, but in the same way on the field, not off the field, with Deshaun Watson, he
The
got
pick
injured.
is in.
He got injured during the offseason pretty early on, so they don't know if he's going to play. So Kellen Moore is the head coach there. He just got signed earlier, a couple months ago. So it'll be interesting to see where they go.
I don't think Deshaun Watson will ever play another snap in the NFL ever again. He's done. He's done, dude.
He should
The
be.
talent is gone. He's got no work ethic. He's got his money. No team wants him in their locker room. Like it's over.
He should be. He's done with football's been done with him for a little while, but yeah, he's a turd. David Carr over Derek Carr. David Carr looked like he got hit by a car after his rookie year.
David Carr, Adam and I have had this discussion before. David Carr would have been a good quarterback if he would not have been put on an expansion Houston Texans team that could not protect
That was the
him
worst
at
situation.
all.
Yep.
Absolutely the worst situation imaginable for him. Derek Carr, it's been a while since I watched any of his game tape. He probably was more talented than Derek, I think.
Well, that's a good litmus test too when you have the argument of like, is Patrick Mahomes the GOAT? Or like for me, why you don't pay Brock Purdy $55 million, which they're about to do a year, or 51 or whatever absurd shit it is. If you put him in that David Carr situation, which is that's egregious and extreme, but would he still be able to like navigate and you'd be like, I know this dude's good. We just got to build the team around him. Or if I put another guy in, is he going to produce the same thing like Brock Purdy does in San Francisco? Like, that's what I hate about that whole situation is like, well, we got to pay him. No, the fuck you don't.
Yeah, you
No,
really don't
there's
have
nothing
to.
out there that says you have to pay him that. You can offer him $40 million a year because that's above FU, like, and I say FU with a very nose to the sky sentiment there because that's a shitload of money. But that's starter money in the NFL versus like I'm gonna hamstring myself like the Cowboys have done with Dak Prescott. I can't understand
Yeah.
why they're going to do that in San Francisco, but cool. Well, especially when you have a coach that can get Jimmy Garoppolo. Like the evidence is, the more I keep talking, the evidence is there. We got to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo. We don't have to pay you. Jimmy Garoppolo sucks. He's not good. They're a player or two away from beating the Chiefs, and it's like, well, we got to pay Brock Purdy. Do you? You could just go in the third round and get Jackson Dart or whoever's in this one, and you'll have the same result. Crazy, crazy stuff for San Francisco, and they're going to be picking soon. That's wild.
Man, the internet is so far ahead of where we are on TV right now.
You already know the pick?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Are you just going to come check on me every 5 minutes? When I start yelling, you have to come make sure I'm all right. Is that what it is? Like, Dad,
Yep.
don't start yelling about Brock Purdy again. It's okay. That's the thing too. Like you'll hear me on this. Like this will outlast us and all of our lives in eternity. But it's like I hated Brock Purdy. I don't hate Brock Purdy. I just can't understand why you don't have to outdo the last major contract. I will
Yeah,
die
you
on
really
this hill.
don't.
You can just give them Kirk Cousins contracts at a reasonable price. And if I'm a quarterback, I'm taking guaranteed money immediately. If I was his agent, I would say, hey, I'm going to get you 5 years, $40 million a year. Not only is that going to help the team as the cap goes up, but guess what? You get guaranteed the day you sign $200 million. Well, it could be 250. At that point, who gives a shit? If you got over a
Yeah,
hundred
what are you doing with
million
the extra 50? Like what?
well, people will always say, like, well, you don't turn down an extra $50 million. No. Kyle and Adam and Kyle don't turn down $50 million of any kind. But if I had 150 in the bank, whatever. Who's to say you
Yeah.
can't renegotiate later? But like, you got to have money to pay other positions. Like that's the thing I don't understand. I love that this is going by so fast. We've only been on an hour, and they're about to do pick number 9. That's good. That's good for us.
Yeah, I can see Minnesota on the side of the screen coming up now, finally. Here's an interesting thought that popped into my mind, too. I wanted to talk a little bit about the
Carlton Banks
recency.
at number 9 to the Saints.
There you go. I wanted to talk a little bit about the recency bias when people have the conversation of the greatest quarterback of all time, and you can throw out your Patrick Mahomes, obviously super talented. Tom Brady, always going to be in that discussion. How come we don't bring up like Joe Montana or Steve Young or those guys from that era like anymore? Like,
I still
is
say
the
Dan Marino's the best to ever do it.
right? Is the younger generation of fans just not aware?
They
Like
don't
how
they don't
good?
care because they didn't get to see it in real time, and that's
Yeah.
why. Like, if you have the conversation with the NBA, I think the consensus for the majority is
Oh,
Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time. But that doesn't take away now and before. Like Bill Russell, if you're going by championships, which if you're just going to dumb it down,
uh-huh.
why do you play the game professionally? To win. And if you play to win, you play to do what? To be the best, to win championships.
Right.
If you go by number of championships, then Bill Russell's the GOAT.
The Bears pick is in.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Nice. Fuck you guys.
And fire breather Asante Samuel Jr. is dealing with an injury, and I don't think anybody's going to sign him at this moment.
After to not mess with the comp pick formula. That's true. Interesting.
Because I was also going to follow that up with like who do you guys think is better then? So Patrick Mahomes, or Steve Young?
I have to ask the context of what is your definition of better? Like when I boil it down, I say I don't give a shit about your arm strength. I care about your mobility. I care about this right here because this right here will tell your arm and everything else what to do. And can you break down a defense? Because
The scenario I always go with, 4th and long, the game is on the line. You need a touchdown to win it. You have one play. Who are you picking as your quarterback? I can tell you why I'm not picking Brett Favre. Because Brett Favre.
The problem is that the league isn't the way it was back then. It's not that way now.
Well,
it's the same way with the NBA. When you try comparing like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, the league is not the same.
But that scenario, I would tweak one thing about your scenario, Kyle, is, oh my God, Colleen Wolfe. Jesus.
Ooh.
God bless America.
I'll take either or in that scenario right now.
Oh, look, generic blonde ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
So I would say not fourth and long, and you need a touchdown, but like, yeah, fourth and long, and you have to convert or the game is over. Who do you pick?
Yeah.
So in that situation, I need a person who's very smart and can break down the defense before they know, and that's why I picked Brady. Is because by the end of his career, he told all the guys like, and that's the thing too. Why another reason why I picked Tom Brady is when he came in, people could still assassinate you on the field. Like if the DB gets through, he's going to break your collarbone. I realize it's not the 70s and 80s where people were dying on the field getting hit, but it's that era of like we can still hit people to where when he was playing when in his 40s, he's like, I already know what's going to happen because I've seen every defense possible. But when you break down like, okay, am I going to start a franchise? If I was to pick a player right now, I'd start with Josh Allen because he's never injured. He's big as fuck. He can run like a running back, but he's the size of a linebacker. And he can throw the ball.
And there it is. Now that we know the schedules will be released on May 14th.
Day before my son's birthday. Nice.
Well, Chicago's pick is in here too.
But yeah, I would pick Josh Allen now because of his size and his arm strength and stuff. But if it was all time, who are you going to pick in a scenario? I'm going to pick Brady, but you got to like
you're picking
Joe Montana.
Brady.
Yeah, you pick Brady. I like Joe Montana too. I like the poise there. Like you don't have to be the most physically gifted. Peyton Manning was really good at that too. They called him the sheriff for a reason.
Yeah.
I saw a funny troll post the other day.
You play Tom Brady, I'll play Eli Manning. I win.
yeah, there you go. Or Nick Foles, just to be the kryptonite. So I saw a troll post the other day that said Donovan McNabb was the best quarterback to not win a Super Bowl, and I was like, either you're brain damaged and you were dropped on your head as a kid, or you're 15 years old because you don't know who Dan Marino is. Like that's it.
Yeah, it's a Dan Marino, but
Did he throw for like 40 or 50 touchdowns in the 80s? Well, how many was it for that one season? Unreal. Like in that era, that's absurd. Sucks they never went back too, but you can just watch Dan Marino and be like, that's the best I've ever seen somebody throw a football, and I wouldn't argue with you. Colston Loveland, damn, dude, the Bears are going to be fucking stacked. Stacked
hey,
offense. Damn it.
We should mention real quick here, if we can get serious
What
for
about
a
Cole
moment.
Kmet?
Now you got two.
Yeah.
I think they didn't they lose, or he's not going there. He's not staying there for more than a year now that he's done.
Oh no, not Mongo.
Keenan Allen.
There we go. That's awesome to see up on the screen there. The tribute to Steve McMichael, Mongo.
Oh wow.
Chicago Bears legend. If you were a pro wrestling fan in the late 90s, particularly WCW, you would also remember Mongo McMichael. He was a member of the Four Horsemen. He was part of the announce team there for quite a while. A legend in two different sports. We're really glad to see that tribute up there.
That's very classy. Nice.
Yeah, it is.
So they got a tight end. Colston Loveland is the pick. It's already up on our chat here. So they get a good tight end.
I don't like Chicago getting better.
I don't either. I'm glad they didn't get Genty, but man.
Yeah.
Now I'm starting to get hope because now we're going to pick 11, and I don't think San Francisco will take him, but Dallas could take Omarion Hampton from North Carolina. God, I would love that. Let him.
You know who we're not talking about right now?
Who's that?
You know who we're not talking about? Shadir Sanders. Because he's not. He's okay. So look at the teams coming up. Dallas, maybe. Jerry Jones is insane. I could see him making a stupid pick like that. But like, he's not going. He's not going to any of these other teams. He's not going in the first round, guys.
He'll go to Pittsburgh. I think he'll go to Pittsburgh. Or if the Rams really want to do a backup plan for
San Francisco is on the clock.
Mike Tomlin ain't putting up with that shit.
I think he's coachable though. I don't think it's to the point. I think media overhypes it, and they don't have
the
they
pick
have Mason,
is in.
They have Mason Rudolph this year. Like I think they're going to go. I think they're going to sign Aaron Rodgers at some point. I think they've kind of told him like, come to us when you're ready. But dude, I think that just you got to. He's not a bad kid. He's not a bad quarterback. if anybody can rein in those stupid person, you got to think Antonio Brown played there for like 8 years and he didn't go insane until the very end. So I'm sure he can manage a little egotistical Shadur Sanders. That would be a good room for them to have if they have Shadur's the boy wonder future. Yeah, Mason Rudolph's a veteran, and then you can get Aaron Rodgers for the last year or two of his because he don't even have to mentor him while he's there. Now he's just like, hey,
Well, because Rodgers isn't going to, so
yeah,
don't
probably.
count on that to happen.
Isn't it funny how he just turned into Brett Favre as he got older? Just hippie
Yeah,
Brett Favre.
yeah, you totally 100% turned
I don't
into
want to come
Brett
to
Favre.
training camp. I'm not mentoring the rookies, and I want everything to be about me in the media. Like
Do you think
he's just a
he's ever?
less
Do you think he
interception throwing.
called Brett? Do you think he called Brett on the phone and was like, "Hey, I get it."
That's funny. That could be a good bit for a show. 49ers, they do need help at tackle. What's his name's not going to play forever. And if you're going to pay Brock Purdy a shitload of money, you might as well protect him. They could use a receiver because Debo left and went to Washington. Running back could be an option here because they did get rid of their number 2 in Jordan. What's his name? Mason. He came to the Vikings. So they could go a number of ways. They also lost some defensive players. They're in kind of a soft rebuild, if you want to call it that. So it'll be
Oh,
interesting.
what is Dallas gonna do here, guys?
Hopefully
Coming up,
something dumb because Jerry Jones is an idiot.
yeah, Jerry Jones is geriatric Jones at this point. Like,
I wonder after he passes, like I'm not wishing death on anybody because that's fucked up, but I wonder after he
right?
passes if it was just him that had a huge thumbprint on making some dumb decisions, or if it's in the genetics there and Stephen Jones is going to be a dumbass too for like the next 30 or 40 years.
It's mostly him. He's turning into like late stage Al Davis, where like Al Davis just could not help himself. That's Jerry Jones at this point. And to be fair, dude, like if I had as much money as Jerry Jones and I owned an NFL team, I would fly into training camp on a helicopter as well too, and just route everything
That's
because
not even. Oh, sorry, my bad.
because who cares? Like, who cares, dude?
Well, nobody's going to tell him no because he's the billionaire owner. But I think
Right
the
on.
craziest thing I heard about it was he wanted to have tours of the facility, like the practice facility, and he wanted there to be like glass right up against the weight room while you're trying to have a workout and just let fans come through and like gawk at you and take pictures like you're a zoo animal. And it's like,
Oh, and I love
man,
it. That's some total WWE level shit, like right there. Like, let's do it.
it's
Let's put
crazy. Like
let's put
if
the
I was a
cameras
player,
in
I'm like, this is don't do that.
let's put the cameras in the locker room. Let's reality show the whole shit. Who cares, dude?
Speaking of, who's going to be on Hard Knocks?
I
You
am
know
so
that?
sick of this song.
What song? I can't hear the TV because
Stupid
of
Travis Scott's Fiend.
oh.
Wouldn't know.
Well, we will fix that for you here soon.
Thanks, man.
It's about the worst song you've ever heard, and it's what the theme song
And
to
they
Monday
probably
Night Raw.
100 times during WrestleMania.
I don't
That's
even
what
know
fun.
the lyric. What does it even say? Fee?
Fiend.
Fiend? Fiend. That's all it says. Fiend.
Super
That's all
original.
it says, Smith.
Captivating artistry there. Love that. Well, the pick is in. Fire breather has it. Jerry Alzheimer's. Oh man.
Oh. You guys remember when Mike Zimmer wanted to fight Sean Payton?
What a good memory.
Yeah.
To be fair, when he was doing the skull chant in 2019, I wanted to fight Sean Payton too.
I hate Sean Payton.
He's a dickhead. I'm not a fan
Yeah,
of him.
I know.
Yeah. Good football
We-
coach, but dickhead human.
Yeah.
So Fire Breather has spoiled it for us here, and I'm good with it because they're taking forever on the broadcast. 49
I'm on commercial break right now.
cornerback Will Johnson. So yeah, Charvarius Ward left as well. I forget where he signed. So makes sense. They're losing key players. You got to replenish. Man, they had a Super Bowl hangover last year. That was one of the highlights of the year, watching Minnesota beat the shit out of the 49ers. Oh, there he is. Shadur Sanders. in the Kenton, Texas room. Nice. And he's got a whole crew with him too. You got to share them
I'm
with
sure he
everybody.
does.
Current starting quarterbacks. 14.
I love the
Anthony
slash
Richardson and
Daniel
Daniel
Jones.
oh, that sucks. That sucks, dude. Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Tua, Richardson and Jones, Michael Penix, Kyler Murray. I don't think anybody there would take a quarterback. They don't need it. Yeah, the more I look at it, Shador going to Pittsburgh looks like it's going to be the move. Misinformation from X. Uh-oh. How dare you? We run a tight ship here, Fire Breather. How dare you? That's funny. Okay, go. Go lay down, sir.
Well, this is important. EA has confirmed that Road to Glory will start in high school in college football 2026.
Oh.
That is really cool. I like that.
What is that? What is Road to Glory?
Road to Glory is like you play a specific player at a position and you go through now from high school through college and you get like that whole experience of being a college NFL player. Here's a meme for you, Kyle Smith.
We commercialize
It's the Browns trading down to pick 5 while Travis Hunter was there at number 2. And it's from the movie Draft Day.
I watched it yesterday, and it made me laugh so hard on how unrealistic that movie really is. I've noticed that a lot lately. I watched the Rocky movies last week, and they're fucking terrible. Like I'll be the first to say it. If you are a fight fan at all, you look at that and you're like, this is a dog shit fight movie, but the storyline is so good, you just power through it. Michael Williams, edge from Georgia. There you go. Georgia D lineman going direct to NFL.
You can tell he lifts some weights.
Yeah, he's not a small individual. Dude, they're on the clock fast, man. I thought they got more. I guess it starts when the pick is in. It's got to be. When the other team's pick is in, they've got to start that clock because this makes it feel like it's a lot quicker now, even though we know it isn't. 12, Dallas. Who's up? Miami and then Indy. All right. I must break you. Love that. The Russian in there. Somebody put up a graphic the other day. I'm not going to get political about it, but it was like, isn't that funny? We trust Bill Nye, and he's got just a bachelor's from one school. And it showed all the degrees Dolph Lundgren has. You're like, is he smarter than Bill Nye, the science guy? Probably not, but damn, he's got a better education resume. That's crazy. Isn't it wild? You go to school for like 10 years, and then you end up, your biggest thing in life is you were the villain from Rocky IV. That's wild.
Isn't it wild that the person in charge of education in the United States is Vince McMahon's ex-wife?
That is.
Yeah.
That is. We're in a fucking Simpsons episode, dude.
Did you hear she got asked about the John Cena heel turn?
Wow.
Really?
She really did. As she was leaving one of her super important government job hearings, someone fucking was like, "What do you think of John Cena turning heel?"
Dude, that's amazing.
We live in that movie.
You gotta
live in that movie. What was it? Idiocracy. Man. We live in that shit now.
You're talking about abolishing the Department of Education. We're like, so what do you think about John Cena coming back at WrestleMania and winning the belt? Holy shit!
So good.
That's thank you for sharing that. That's the highlight of the draft so far for me. The only thing I saw with her speaking was Triple H was behind her at some congressional hearing, and he had
I know.
And it was like his fucking muscle memory almost kicked in to spit that water up everywhere. And he's like, "Oh yeah."
You could tell he was standing there like, I did not sign up for this when I married this family. I did not sign up for this. I do not want to be here.
I will highly recommend this though. he did an interview probably a week ago
Oh, Cowboy Stick is in.
Uh, on Andrew Schultz's podcast, A
Ooh,
Flavor.
offensive lineman.
And I'll tell
Really?
you right now, it's one of the best wrestling interviews I've ever heard. And credit to Schultz, he asks some really good questions. Um, I just love Triple H from watching him growing up. But yeah, if you want to hear like in depth shit on the business, and they asked him straight up, like, so how long were you banging Stephanie? Like, when did that start? Like, all that crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's a good interview. I
Did you guys
listened
see
to
that
it too.
Netflix is putting out a show that's the writer's room in the WWE and
I
showing
don't
you
like
like
it.
all that behind the scenes stuff?
I don't like it.
Will Shawn Michaels be on there showing
I
that
don't know if I like it or not.
Triple H
It's
are
interesting, but I don't know if I want to see it.
I thought that was funny. That meme, probably in the last year, is like, isn't it funny? These two were running around teaching you to suck it when you were in sixth grade, and they basically run the fucking company now. The ones that
Because I'll be
say,
honest, I don't know if I want to know how the sausage is made.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, is it interesting? Yeah. Do I want to see it as a fan? A little bit. Should I? No, I really probably shouldn't. Like,
it's kind of the thing that ruined him. Like, you remember the moment the click was exposed because some fan snuck in that camcorder?
yeah,
That's what Vince was afraid of, was like, I don't want them to know these guys are friends. You can't do that. So I'm sure it'll ruin some stuff, but it's not the same anymore. It's not like that back then where you got to hold that information hostage,
right.
because everything is so behind the scenes now with social media. Like, I don't think it'll be that detrimental. But it depends on if you
I
want
uh
to or not.
I have a fun story for you guys. So I remember being in, it was either the fifth or the sixth grade, Smith, when we went after middle school was over across the street. It was a group of probably about 7 or 8 of us, and there was one of the poor underpaid teachers just doing his job that none of us liked, who was like, the buses were out there after school making sure everything's going smoothly, and we all went across the street and did the DX crotch chop and like, suck it.
We got in so much trouble for that shit.
Oh,
Like, they'd be like, we're calling your parents, and like, we're telling them how disrespectful you are. And then you play stupid because you're a kid and your parents will believe you. Like, I don't know. I saw it on TV. I don't know what it means. Like,
So the Dolphins are one of those teams I think might be in the Shador Sanders market, possibly.
oh, that's kind of a bold statement, Adam.
I wish they would be, because I don't think he's the answer. But if you paid him all that money, I don't know how you go quarterback when you have needs everywhere. I understand what you're saying. I would be shocked if they did, but I think in the best interest of the team, you probably should. We've been saying it for years. Like, he was relatively healthy last year, but that dude's a concussion away from retirement, and
Yeah,
I feel bad for him because he had that iconic moment at Alabama. Come stepping in for Jalen Hurts and winning the national title. Like, that was pretty sweet, but man, he's been getting his ass
Because if you
kicked.
think about it, a situation where Sanders doesn't have to come in and start right away
Correct.
might actually be ideal.
That's what he should do. He should have at least a year to sit. Tyreek's still a Dolphin. He is, and he is a dog shit human being. Hearing more and more about him makes me hate him even more. He is a
He was a bad
subpar.
guy before he even came in the league, so that doesn't
right.
surprise me one bit.
Yep. I think his one of his children's mothers filing for divorce, or his wife now is filing divorce, um, because of a domestic dispute. Like, keep your fucking hands off women, you piece of shit. Like, don't do that. There's no sense in this shit.
Well, I'm going to be the first to take a bathroom break.
Yeah,
So
you read my mind. I kind of want to refill now, but we'll do some rotations.
yeah,
Adam
I'm
and I
going to tap.
we'll talk shit about you while you're gone. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, awesome, perfect.
There you go.
So how we feeling, Adam? This has
Yeah,
kind of
I
gone
don't actually know
pretty.
what Miami's going to do here.
This has gone pretty to plan so far. No real big shocks. The trade with Jacksonville and Cleveland was pretty cool, but other than that, it's been pretty predictable.
The only
Pretty,
real surprise to me was that Panthers wide receiver.
yeah,
I
a
didn't see
little
that
higher,
coming.
little higher than normal. But I did see him mock to the
I thought
Cowboys.
they were definitely going to go defense, but
Yeah,
what do I know?
I think it might be a good pick for them. That might be pretty cool. To
Miami's pick is in.
give Bryce Young some weapons. Fire breather, yes. The answer is yes to your question. I'm never gonna be shocked as I was last year when the Falcons took Michael Penix. I mean, it might have been a gift to Minnesota. And I always worry about left-handed quarterbacks. I know that's stupid because they can throw the ball well. Like he's a great passer, but it's always weird when they're in the league because you never know. Look at George Kittle in all these commercials, dude. I love that for him. He's a fun dude. He's a good interviewer too. He's
Good for
hilarious.
him.
Yeah, make that endorsement money.
I can't believe there's still all these Marvel movies coming out.
I can't either.
Are people still watching these?
Yeah, I guess so. After Endgame, I was like, yeah, I'm good. We're all good here.
I think I called it after Spider-Man 2.
It had everything you wanted as far as like predictability and a feel good ending and like a Hollywood kind of thing for Endgame. But after that, I don't need to see like an alternate universe. Like you could have put a plug in it there, and I would have been. Y'all are doing a live show. Hell yeah, we are. Scott, what's up, dude? We were just saying nothing crazy's happened minus the trade with Jacksonville and Cleveland, but
And of
it's
course, you pop
good.
in when Mr. West is taking a potty break.
we are. We feel like the draft is moving along nicely. It's not taking too long. It's a little long for my liking, but they're not taking forever. Like we mentioned earlier about 15 minutes per team. That was way too much in the past.
I also haven't seen a Star Wars movie since that guy that had the lightsaber with the two red ends on it.
I know who his name is, but I've only seen one Star Wars movie in my life, and it just wasn't my jam. I'm not gonna yuck your yum if you're a Star Wars nerd. That's on you. Like, enjoy what you like. I like Scream.
Yeah, love what you love. Enjoy it.
I have a tattoo of Ghostface on my finger. Like, we all got our things we like, but I don't. I just never got into. I'm not really a sci-fi guy very much.
I've never seen a Harry Potter movie, and I know people don't
Same,
like me for that.
same. I've never seen one of them.
And I thought
And
Lord of the Rings was boring. It was beautiful, but boring.
you remember Clerks when he's shitting on Lord of the Rings?
He's
He's
not
like,
wrong.
here's the first movie. Here's the second movie. Like, oh my gosh, that was fun. When I got a hold of Clerks when I was in my 20s, man, that was a fun discover. Wes, what's up, dude? Happy draft night to you and Scott. Appreciate y'all.
Harry Potter was for children. Actually, those books are very adult. My sister liked reading them, and there are big words in those Harry Potter books. Maybe the movies are more geared towards children, but those books, kids would struggle with them, I think.
I just realized we could mute West, and that's where the background noise was coming from. Unmute request there. Let's see if you can click that button, Kyle. He is rejected to unmute. Let's try again. Let's see if he can say yes to that. You don't want to talk? Oh, okay.
I don't know. What did I do? What did I break?
No,
I
you
didn't
didn't.
even do anything.
I hit mute because I heard you come back in the room and I could hear the TV. I realized, oh, the TV the whole time was from you. I could have hit mute a long time ago.
Oh, you could hear my TV set?
Okay, they're
Yeah.
replacing their defensive lineman. That
Kenneth
makes
Grant
sense.
from Michigan is going to be a Miami Dolphin. Good for him. A lot of good Michigan players still left over from last year. That's cool.
Yeah, didn't Miami just lose a big defensive tackle?
I'm sure they did, but I don't remember who. Dolphins, I hope your franchise goes bankrupt. Jesus. Hey, I'm going to do the due
Wow,
diligence
Colts
now.
are not wasting any time.
Nice. I got to text my buddy Matt and see what's in. I'm going to put this up now so that we have it. If you are watching us right now, no matter what platform you're on, if you're on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, wherever, go like and subscribe. Like the video and subscribe on our YouTube channel. If you go a step further, hit the bell thing and it'll tell you. I schedule these in advance, so it'll tell you when we're going to do a show. Please pump up the numbers. We like to get as many eyeballs on the show as we can. We realize we're not ESPN, we're not Pat McAfee, we're not your favorite Vikings podcast that's made it huge, but we do have a tight-knit community of friends, and I like to think of it as if you were sitting on a bar stool next to us at one of our houses, like this is what we would be talking about. We invite you to be a part of the family here at Purple People Podcast. And if you can believe it, this is our 600th episode. Didn't say that before. Crazy,
Oh
guys.
shit! Is it really?
It is. Last time we did it was
Oh man,
199. 600th episode. And part of the reason I waited a week is to make sure it was a live draft show. So we've been doing this a really long time, and it's really fun
Way
to
too
have
long.
this. Yeah, way too long. Hell yeah. Colts reach for the O line. Okay. 11 more picks. Got you, Scott. Thanks for that update. My math is North Carolina Public Education. Oh, let's see how my buddy Matt is feeling. Where are you? Drum roll. Yeah, they wanted me to come in early to work tomorrow. I was like, do you understand? I have to sit in a chair
absolutely not.
for 3 hours and act like I know what I'm talking about. I will not be there. Thank you very much. NFL Draft Round 1, 2024. First 14 picks on offense. Longest common streak in the draft era. 2025, first 13 picks. There was a split there, and I got it.
So how do you feel about like being able to bet on how long the first round of the draft will go?
That's not a real
Because that
thing,
is a
is
betting
it?
option, like on most websites.
I think you should get help if that's a thing you're gambling on. I think you should seek immediate help and you have
Please,
a problem.
please don't make me choke while I'm eating, Smith.
Good Lord.
Yeah,
All right.
really. Like,
Tyler Warren, tight end from Penn State. My buddy Matthew is excited. He said, hey,
Daniel
all right.
Jones will throw him that football. Right too.
Daniel Jones to Tyler Warren, and now the lead is cut by 31 points. I'm kidding.
remember when they tricked us into giving a shit about Daniel Jones momentarily in
Thank you,
Minnesota?
Ed Donatel, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
I wonder. Let's look. I'm
And
going
the
to Google that
Falcons
now.
are on the clock to pick Shedeur Sanders.
Just to complete the trifecta of fucking with Kirk.
That'd be hilarious.
Ed Donatel is an American football coach.
Is he in
He
the
is.
XFL?
Dude,
Yeah. What's it called? USFL? UFL?
he was the
UFL.
defensive any list since, so he hasn't had a job since he had that horrible outing against the Giants a few years ago.
Well, that's
Oh,
actually
wow.
nice to know.
Super Bowl champion twice in 32 and 33. So he went to the Broncos and he was on the Packers. So it was when the Packers beat American football game between the conference and the two-time Super Bowl champ. Well, which is 32 and 33? And the Atlanta Falcons. Oh, okay. So he was a two-time Super Bowl champ with the Broncos. Good for you. Secondary coach.
Good for him.
He's 58. Maybe his time in the league is over. I'm not sure. I only gamble with my health, not my money. Yeah, that's me and my youth.
Right on.
Treat my body like a trash can forever. I'm a little better now.
Come on, Falcons, get your pick in.
Kyle West, what are
I see
you?
Kurt
West's being all
Warner.
squishy over there.
I would like to make as much noise as possible on this episode.
What are you eating over there?
Looks like
I
Ritz.
have Ritz crackers and pickle dip. We make it work.
Ooh.
It's really good.
I would starve if there was only pickle flavored anything or pickles on an island. I would get my affairs in order and get right with the Lord because I am starving to death. I will not eat anything pickle related.
You don't like pickle dip?
You guys know I'm a vehement pickle hater. So let's start a food war. What foods do you hate? What foods do you love that most people don't? What do you do that's weird that people would consider to be odd with your food choices?
Here is my favorite little treat that I love, but I know people will not think is good. I love cottage cheese, which is already questionable for some people. But I like to put Kirby and jerk seasoning on my cottage cheese.
Kirby and jerks. Okay.
I don't know what that is.
Caribbean jerk seasoning, kind of like wing stuff you would put in cottage cheese. I could see that spicing it up. I don't know that
I
I
think
would
it's
do it,
real
but
good.
I understand it. I understand why you do that.
Yes, it is very Midwest, Andrew. That's one of my answers to Kyle Smith's question. So when it's wintertime and it's snowing outside and it's cold, and you want to make a big pot of chili on the crock pot, you have to have a cinnamon roll to go with it. And if you're from Iowa, you know what I'm talking about. And you take the cinnamon roll and you dunk it right straight in the chili, and
In the chili?
Yeah,
it
that's a
oh
Nebraska thing too.
it is absolutely delicious. If you're not from here, you have that reaction that Kyle Smith did until you try it. And then you were like, holy shit, where have you been my entire life?
Hmm.
Is
Interesting.
top the tater like a Midwest thing?
I haven't heard of that. What is it
The top the
exactly?
tater dip? It's huge in Minnesota.
I've had
I
it.
guess
My
Huge.
ex-wife and my ex-wife introduced it to me. It is very good.
I guess I'm not familiar with it.
I remember. I haven't thought about it in 10 years.
That's like my sister's thing. Is she loves top the tater?
It is very good. I do remember liking it very much, but it is a Minnesota thing. You're
Come on,
right.
Pelicans, what are you doing?
Nobody's trading with you. Make a decision.
They have to call Kirk to verify their draft
Maybe they're
pick.
trading Kirk right now. Hell yeah, dude.
At least this commercial has some Huey Lewis going in the background. That's the power of love.
Ooh, fire breathers talking my language. Uh,
Nebraska, we do that to Kyle West. That's funny.
yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Fire breathers talking my language as I do work in a meat counter. So yeah, New York strip steak is absolutely delicious. Good choice.
I'm a sirloin guy, but any steak, unless you're doing a specific thing, low and slow is always your answer. Don't go too quickly. There's no need.
I think everyone should take a moment to try to pronounce the kind of sauce that fire breather just typed out.
Worcestershire sauce.
Adam,
No, thank you.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. That's the best way I can try.
Worcestershire.
Which is funny because in the South, where I'm from, you cut that word in half and it's like, what are you doing with your laundry tonight? I'm washing it.
Worcestershire.
We're washing it. Adder, what's up? How we doing? Thank you for tuning in, man. We appreciate you. We're doing good. Less than 10 picks away. So, and Atlanta's about to make a choice. Hopefully, they're taking forever. I will tell you what my little quirk is, and it's nothing groundbreaking, but I've been doing this since I was a child, and I did it today. I went to Wendy's for lunch, and I wanted a burger. I had a very dog shit day at work today, and I was like, I'm going to be a fat piece of shit, and I'm going to eat fast food. So I got a bacon double stack from Wendy's, and
Ooh.
I put my French fries on my cheeseburger. You strategically place
Right?
them in a line, and then you smoosh the bun down like a smash burger. Something about the taste of bread, a good beef patty, and potatoes together. I've always loved that, and I do it. Speaking of that steak that Fire Breather was talking about, when I order a steak like Texas Roadhouse or wherever you go, I always get mashed potatoes, and I will dunk my
Oh
steak
yeah.
in mashed potatoes, and
Oh
it
yeah.
is that's just
The
a
pick is in.
that's just a good combination.
Andrew, I had chicken wings on the smoker for lunch
Oh,
tonight. Oh, I can
I had
devour
Taco
a
Bell for
whole
lunch.
I can't wait to
taco.
fully evolve into dad mode where I have New Balances and a grill on my porch. Oh, I can't fucking wait.
Oh,
We're almost there. I'm gonna get myself a Blackstone this summer and cook some
is Kyle
burgers.
Pitts good? Have we figured that out yet? Do we know?
Yet to show me that he's good, especially not for a fourth overall pick.
He was drafted in 2021, and I still couldn't answer that question. Is he good? That means it's
It's
probably
funny,
not.
like fantasy football, everybody always wants him, but he always ends up disappointing.
Yeah.
And I'll give him credit. They haven't been a firepower since they went to the Super Bowl with Matt Ryan. So maybe it's been the coaches or the way that he's being used. But
But,
you gotta you gotta just
I
you gotta
mean,
say no. You gotta say he's a bust at this point.
Adrian Peterson, I mean, Christian Ponder was his quarterback. He was still phenomenal.
What's the
At some
temperature in
point,
Green Bay right now?
Let's ask. Hey Siri, what is the
Because
temperature
that
in Green
looks
Bay,
kind of
Wisconsin?
cold.
50 degrees? Why do you have a fire pit at 50 degrees? Even I'll tell you you're being a pansy there. Come on. Come on, cheese curds. You're better than that. Cream cheese dip in the smoker. I've seen videos of this and I want it so bad. All the dips you can do with the smoker. Let's do it.
ugh,
Here you go. Fire breather says Jalen Walker to the Falcons. That would be a hell of a pick.
that
I don't know if
is
I'm familiar with
correct.
Jalen Walker.
Let's see if it's correct because I am not checking the
Yeah,
injury.
defensive end from Georgia.
Oh. No wonder I didn't research him. Minnesota doesn't exactly need an edge rusher.
Yeah, I feel like anytime you're taking a defensive end from Georgia, probably a pretty good pick.
2024, he won the Butt Kiss Award, so he might be good. He's all right.
Yeah,
Nah,
probably going to
butt
do
kiss.
a-okay with that one.
Every time you want to say butt kiss, you got to laugh like Peter Griffin. Cool. Cardinals on the clock. All right, 5 seconds, and then the pick is in. Let's go. Let's go. Well, Cousins is safe. Yeah, I think they would do something after the draft. That would make sense. We still don't know how to get Turner in. That's a problem that I'm glad we have.
Yeah,
Because last year the pass rushers stayed healthy, and that doesn't happen every year. So
Just be slow, rotate him in, keep doing your thing. He had such a good sack rate last year. I don't have any notes. Good job. Keep it up.
damn, fire breather sending me dirty photos while we're on this live chat. Look at that fucking steak. Ooh,
ooh,
my goodness.
that's good.
That is good. We'll turn the brightness down just a bit. That's how you know you're on a dad podcast right here. Everybody look at this steak that I just got a text message of.
What kind of
Hell yeah.
seasoning? What kind of seasoning you got on that?
Salt and pepper.
There you go. Nice. All right, Jade Barron is not off the board, and now I start getting antsy because I like Jade
So how do you
Barron.
guys feel when someone gets a steak well done with steak sauce?
I unfriend them on Facebook.
Would never do that in my life for any reason, but if that's the way you want it, please. Because I can't
That's how
do
my
that
sister
thing.
eats steak.
Yeah, I mean, she can be wrong. It's fine.
I mean,
It's
if that's what she likes, cool.
yes.
I'll make fun of her a little bit, but
You like what you
enjoy.
like. I would like to have a discussion with you and talk to you about why you have
Blink twice
chosen
if
this
you're under
path.
duress.
Yeah.
Let us
Is
know
this
if
a
you're
cry
okay.
for help? Like, what can I do to help you out of this situation?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. I don't like it because when I tell people I don't like pickles, people will be like, "What are you 5?" And I'm like, I can't help that my tongue when it tastes that, I want to fucking revolt. It feels like I'm licking a battery.
Is it the vinegar or what is it?
It's just sour and disgusting. And what I don't like, and I've had a theme. At least I'm consistent over my life. You guys have heard me say this on the show before. That slimy, chewy, rubbery texture, I hate.
I can't get
Any,
myself to eat an oyster for that same reason. I can't do it.
oysters, mushrooms, and if I can do a bell pepper, if it's finely diced, I don't like those long, stringy ones. Makes me feel like I'm eating a booger or something. I'm like, oh
But
no,
somehow I can still do clam chowder, and I don't know why.
that's fine. I haven't had clam chowder in forever. But yeah, the secret dog behind the chair. That's my guy. Bronx, you want to be famous for a couple seconds? Get up here. Come on. Up. Get up here, old man. Yeah, that's a good boy.
How old is he?
He is 9 this year. He got some gray on.
Oh, he is an old boy.
He's my fat lazy potato here. He's just a couch dog, but he's a sweetheart. Oh yeah, can't move too fast and can't go up too high. He'll burp and have gas and all that fun shit old dogs have.
Was he one of your working dogs that retired? Or
No, fun fact about this dog. So I had a work dog forever. He retired. I adopted him. Had him for like a year and a half. He had very bad health issues. Obviously, they're like athletes that get run into the ground and then they retire and then their body breaks down, of course. So had to put him down. Waited like 6 months, and my former colleague in the military, he called me one day because we were stationed together, and he's like, "Hey, I'm at the animal shelter. Come down. There are two Belgian Malinois sisters here." And I was like, "Are you adopting a dog right now?" Well, yeah, they have another one. You should come get it. I'm like, if we were married, if you were my wife, I would be like, you didn't think to consult me before you went down? Like, what are you doing? He's like, just come down because we would volunteer, our services at the animal shelter close by for all the really shitty, like aggressive dogs. You don't want these poor high school girls going in there and getting attacked. So they would call us when they had these really aggressive dogs. So he just went down to the shelter, got himself a really smart, sweet Malinois. By the time that I got there, by the time I arrived, the other one was taken. So I walk next door to the Humane Society, and I'm in. They have them separated by breed and I'm sorry, size, and it's just Doberman, Rottweiler, Husky, Great Dane, Chow, all these huge dogs, and they're just spinning around. And this guy, he's on the floor like this.
Aw.
I was like, "That's my dude right there. Is that how he is all the time?" They're like, "He's Eeyore. He is a German Shepherd Eeyore." I said, "Take him outside. Let's have a talk." And within like a minute, he's just like bebopping around like he has nothing to do, like not a care in the world. That's how I got this guy. Just a
That's cool.
random phone call one day. He's been.
What do dogs do when they catch a car when they chase it?
That's a good question. I wonder if they bite it?
Because I don't know.
I think they
I
just
thought
like
that
the chase and the prey drive of it.
I was hoping that was a punchline to a joke.
He said the cow in the top right is stupid. No connection. I'm gonna remove him from the scene until he comes back.
So here's a fun fact for the day. I own an Arizona Cardinals jersey. Can you guess what former player it is?
Is it a former Viking as well?
No.
Kurt Warner.
Correct.
Nice.
You hit
I'm
that first try.
I'm glad. I was watching Kurt Warner today on the Dan Patrick show, I think. Or was it Rich? I forget where it was. I think it was Dan Patrick. He asked some really good questions about the Super Bowl, and he was talking about the one where he was with Arizona playing the Steelers, and he said he had Joe Montana beside him. Dan Patrick did on the sideline, giving Hall of Fame commentary on like, all right, Roethlisberger drops back. I see Santonio on the right, blah blah blah. Like he's doing this in Dan Patrick's ear, and he's like, I was so certain I was going to be presenting the MVP to you in this game. Or to you guys, for the thing, and it's like, and then there's the catch of a lifetime. And he goes, "Oh,
I
we didn't
know.
think he caught that ball either." And you forget Kurt Warner played in 3 Super Bowls.
Right.
Won one, lost 2. You can't really fault him for the Arizona one. They weren't really supposed to be there. That would have been great if they would have won it. But forget that they lost to the Patriots.
He took the flippin' Arizona Cardinals to the Super Bowl. Arizona.
Him and Larry Fitzgerald, man, they should have got a freaking ring.
And Quan Bolden was on that team too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Yep.
Walter Nolan is the Cardinals pick. The Bengals are on the clock.
Well, I'm trying not to eat a whole bunch right now, but
That's what I want to do. I want to go upstairs. I bought these little apple pie like bites, little bite-sized bites, and I also bought myself a tiny little cheesecake today because I wanted to be I wanted to eat sweets while we did this, but I've waited. Cincinnati has to go edge rusher here. Yeah, are they going to trade Trey Hendrickson, or are they just going to bite the bullet and sign half of their salary cap to 4 players now? That's crazy. That's one way to build a team. I don't think it's the correct one, but that's a way. 48% of our cap goes to 4 players, and the rest are all on rookie contracts forever until Joe Burrow retires.
yeah.
Shit. And imagine they could have gotten Jamar Chase for marginally cheaper if they would have just paid him last year. Wild. Or T. Higgins, too. Didn't they franchise tag him last year?
Joe Burrow is the answer to my question, other than J.J. McCarthy, obviously. But we don't know yet what he's going to do in the NFL. But if we were to pick a quarterback to start your franchise with, yeah, I'd take Joe Burrow. I would pick him.
You'd pick somebody under 30. You'd want to pick somebody who does it all. I mean, obviously Mahomes is probably the consensus answer, but
I mean, yeah,
any
that's
of those guys,
Mahomes is kind of the boring answer to that.
Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar, CJ Stroud looked good for a year. He kind of went back to reality this year.
Yeah, but you can make a strong case for him as well too.
Let's see. Oh, cheesecake at the wedding, Timber Lodge cheesecake. That's awesome, dude.
I was the quarterback for Philly. Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, yeah, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Hey, I said it the episode after the Super Bowl. There's no denying that kid. You can say what you want about the Super Bowl before, where the Chiefs barely edged them out. When you go in there and beat the dog shit out of that team, and I understand it wasn't all Jalen Hurts. Like a lot of that's the line, Saquon, all that. But he's the
Right.
guy. He's the guy playing the most important position. He's got an MVP under his name too for them from the Super Bowl. So ain't no denying he's in the conversation now. Like it's not is he top 10 or is he close to top 5? Like he is, and I'll be interesting to see because Philly's not going to stay like that forever, but they are going to be in that upper echelon of like, hey, we're going to be in contention for the conference championship every year for a while now. So that's annoying. I was thinking back on the Vikings season today and how pumped we would have been if we would have beat Detroit and got the 1 seed and went out, and then just to realize they would have went to Philly or Philly would have came into Minnesota and broke their heart again.
Yeah, I don't want to relive that shit.
That would have sucked, man. There's no way they were going to beat the Eagles. It shows you the levels, man. There's so many levels, even to the good teams. Like Vikings are good enough to win 13 games last year, and then look terrible in the first round of the playoffs. Rams gave the Eagles pretty much their only like fight. I mean, if you want to say the Washington game was close, they had a lot of points, but the Rams gave them their only real fight. And then you realize you couldn't beat the Rams, you couldn't beat the Lions, you weren't beating the Eagles. I don't think if the Vikings made it to the Super Bowl, they would have beat the Chiefs because Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Like you just think they'll fail in the moment. So really thought about that today. Getting ready for the show is like how big the levels are to everything.
I shouldn't laugh, but Shadur Sanders standing around on my TV set right now with this ridiculously stupid looking necklace on, not getting picked in the first round, is low key kind of hilarious. I'm sorry, but this is a kid who's not been humbled enough in his life, and like it's
My only
whatever.
clapback to that is he's taken a fucking beating on the field. I think he'll be good at the NFL
Yeah.
level because he knows like he has had adversity. Like they didn't win anything significant there. I just don't like the accolades of, hey, we're going to retire your number for what reason?
That's so dumb.
You did nothing to deserve your number retired or your jersey retired in Colorado. But I don't think he's going to be a bad quarterback. And the further he slides now, if he goes in the first round, like he might go to a good team, and that probably would be the best for him. I still think Pittsburgh will pick him up, but
Yeah, like you said, now he's probably going to end up on a team where he is going to sit for a season or longer. That gives him more of an opportunity to grow as a player, as a person. It puts him probably on a better team, like you said, with better weapons around him.
yeah,
Probably working out better in the long run than putting him on some shitty New York Giants team where he's in a big market just immediately and is expected to like turn that franchise around. That ain't gonna happen.
well, it's fun too. Like my favorite thing is like years later when they do like the 2018 draft revisited, and they say, well, this guy now that we know what he is, he would have went here. It's like, well, no, he wouldn't have because you don't know that the same production would have happened there. Like Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson was pick 32 in that draft. Josh Allen was in that draft. Who else was in that draft? Um, Mahomes was the year before. I can't remember all the quarterbacks, but it's like, well, now Lamar Jackson would have went number 1 overall. It's like, yeah, if he was a Jet, he would have been dog shit because that team is dog shit. So it's funny to see like people say, well, now that we do a redraft, it's like, no, no, the team was good, but to your point, them going to good teams, it's not a bad thing. He sat behind Joe Flacco for a year, and then Joe Flacco got hurt. Then his era was
Right.
over. Like it worked out. But you got to do like what the Ravens did. Speaking of Lamar, is like they didn't have the same offense ready to go for Joe Flacco that they did for Lamar. Like that's not what they did. They completely catered
They
offense,
overhauled that offense for Lamar Jackson
and they should
completely.
have. They should have. He
Yeah,
won 2 MVPs. He's been to conference championship. Like they're doing it right. But look how many teams don't do it right.
the
Isn't that
Vikings
crazy?
couldn't do it.
Shout out to
Didn't
my
think you're
buddy Buttles is his name. He's a huge Browns fan. I forgot to text him and ask him if he was cool with that pick. He's a Browns fan, and I started naming all the quarterbacks from the time that I started with the show with you guys, and he's like, "Sounds almost as bad as being a fan of my team." I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I can't bitch about quarterbacks to a Browns fan." He's like,
yeah, don't do that.
we never have anything to look forward to." Oh man, let's take an over and under bet. Is
We're
Adam
getting closer. We're what? One, two. We're what? 6 picks away from Minnesota being on the clock.
Um, 18 with this one, yeah, not too far. Once this is in, there'll be 6 picks until us. That's cool.
What if they trade back? They're gonna trade back. You know that.
That would be our luck for the show.
Yeah.
You got to remember they only have 4 picks. That maybe they get a deal that they can't give up. Like, and that's what I said to start the show. Is there's the consensus is this is a starter, not a superstars draft. So there's starters everywhere. There's a bigger group of those instead of like generational Hall of Famer players. So if you can get a value in the second round and you have a grade on a first round dude, and you're at pick 36, fuck it, go get it. But we need Questy to do that this year as the GM. He needs to nail a couple of these picks. He should nail them every
Yeah.
year, but I find it very hard if Starks is there, if Johnny Barron is there. Amari Hampton is my dream pick. That's a luxury pick. They don't need a running back, but God, he's going to be really good for wherever he goes.
I you could talk yourself into them trading back and acquiring more picks, and hey, this gave us more ammo on day 2 to be able to move up and down the draft and whatever. I think, like you said, you want to see our GM really nail this pick in this draft. You don't have a lot to work with, so just take the best available player on the board when the Vikings pick, and just go from there with it, man. I don't think this is a year that you overthink it. I don't think you need to be that cute and try to play oh, well, we're moving back and we're acquiring more picks, and that gives us the ability to move up and down, and you're getting too cute. Just stay where you're at and just pick the best available player and listen to your scouts and go from there.
Well, the good thing is and the good thing with this GM and this tenure of their management is they've done very well in free agency consistently, which is nice overall. So I like that, and um, they're not in a position where like, oh my God, we have to take this position, so you end up reaching. So they don't have to reach, which is a good thing. There is a method to their madness. Just got to see them pick up the slack a little bit more in the draft. Can't shit on them completely for the draft. They have picked J.J. McCarthy, Dallas Turner, Jordan Addison, Gray Zabel, North Dakota State boy, going to the Seahawks. Nice.
There you go.
Good for y'all, Seattle. Go protect Sam Darnold. Guard from North Dakota State. Shout out to
Message
Sam
my
Darnold. Great
buddy
year
who's a
last
big Seahawks fan.
year. Everybody says Gray's gone. Damn it. I like that for Sam Darnold. I really hope Sam Darnold has a good year in Seattle. I love that he had we don't talk about that enough. We're going to look back a couple years from now, and we're going to be like, did Sam Darnold really just roll in for one season as a stray and throw 35
Oh,
touchdowns?
yeah.
Wild. Fire breather, I love that you hate every other team that's not Minnesota. He said, I hope your franchise goes bankrupt too. Yeah, I see that, Andrew. I would have loved another guard as well, but what can you do? At least they
remember
addressed
that
it in the offseason.
remember that weird period of time when like every former Minnesota Viking had a stint in Seattle?
Yeah. Who was that
Like
rotational D tackle that went there too? He was decent for us, but he
Tom
went to Seattle
Johnson.
too. Tom Johnson.
Yep.
Shout out to Tom Johnson. Didn't think we were going to talk about him today. That's hilarious.
Oh, Antoine Winfield going to Seattle and not
John
making it
Randall,
through.
Seattle Seahawks.
Ooh, yeah, that's right.
He did end his career there. That is weird.
Sidney Rice, he was a
Sidney
Seattle
Rice.
Seahawk.
I remember yelling at him at a Panthers game when I was younger and said, "Come back to Minnesota," and he said, "Nope."
He was another. Sidney Rice was another one of those just supremely talented players. Could not stay healthy on the field.
Right.
If his knees would have held up and he would not have had those injuries, dude. You do not want my memory, Andrew. Ever since COVID, like short-term memory is gone. But I can tell you, Tom Johnson was on the Seattle Seahawks. Go figure that out. I'm trying to think. Was Kevin Williams on Seattle for a while too?
Let's look. We have nothing but time. Kevin Williams.
I want to say that Kevin Williams was a Seattle Seahawk at the end of his career.
Da, 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 da. Yep, Seahawks. He played for the Vikings from '03 to 13, then for the Saints in 2015, and the Seahawks in 2014.
There you go.
Remember that like decade span when they had Russell Wilson and the Legion of Boom, and they would just beat the piss out of the Vikings every single time they played them, and it was strictly only in Seattle, like only one Minnesota game every 6 years. Isn't that
That
funny?
is, dude, that is how I am convinced that the NFL hates Minnesota is the fact that we got the Legion of Boom, Seattle Seahawks might as well have been a divisional opponent, and you're right. Every 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 single time it was in Seattle. We
That's
never got
amazing.
them at home. Did we ever play Russell Wilson at home?
We did one.
Probably.
I remember it specifically. All right, I'm gonna
Yeah,
flex my memory, Andrew. We were getting the fuck beat out of us at the Gophers Stadium while they were building U.S. Bank, and Cordero Patterson ran one back as he did many times as a returner, and he's over there celebrating and all that shit. And I'm like, Cordero, it's fucking 36-6. Shut up. Stop celebrating. What are you doing? We are getting the shit beat out of us. And of course, he was pumped because everybody's electric when there's a kick return. But I'm like, yeah, we're not winning the game, so maybe relax. And then I'll never, ever forget this moment because it was a clip and it should have been played for the masses. They had Joe Webb at wide receiver, and he got lined up with Richard
oh,
Sherman for a play. And Sherman said, "Whoa." He was laughing at it. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing out here?"
yeah, I remember that.
He was talking shit to Joe Webb.
Oh,
And Joe, he couldn't say anything. He's like, I'm just trying to play in the NFL, man. What do you want from me? Like, oh, man.
that Joe Webb experiment, man. That
That's the best Tuesday night football game you'll ever watch. I'll
yeah,
stand on it.
the only Tuesday night football game you'll ever
We
watch.
don't have to bring that part up.
Yeah, man.
Remember that embarrassment moment?
Look at how many fans are in attendance right now at this NFL draft. I don't know if you're getting the same kind of like overhead camera footage that I am, but dude, this is why the NFL is unmatched in terms of popularity in the U.S.
No, I'm getting the Aaron Rodgers slide right now. My coverage, which is
Why?
hilarious.
Why?
Because Shador is sliding and they're showing Aaron Rodgers just chilling in there.
Shador is not going in the first round.
I would put
I
money he
mean,
goes to Pittsburgh.
I don't think so. I don't believe it.
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
they
so.
can roll with Mason Rudolph, and that's the other thing is Tomlin and I know this has nothing. They're not basing their drafting choice off of this, but Tomlin has that weird streak going for like however many seasons of like they have a winning record. You ain't
Yeah.
winning shit if Mason Rudolph is your answer for quarterback that year. So
Well, he ain't winning shit with Shador.
No, that's true, and they'll probably. I think they'll end up signing Rodgers at some point too. But
Ooh,
it's
Dion. Oh, okay. Now here we go. Deion Sanders tweeted, "The rejected will be respected." Okay, Prime, whatever.
or maybe your son's not that great. I don't know.
I don't know. Travis Hunter is really easy to root for. It's really easy to like want to see that kid succeed. Shadur Sanders is really easy to be like, if he fails, I don't care. Like that's just how it is, dude.
It's tough, man. I shouldn't hate on the kid for that, but I do think it's a little absurd. Like the big comments in the Facebook posts about when they had his jersey retired was like Cordell Stewart doesn't have his jersey retired, and he went to
Yeah.
Colorado, but you're going to do it for Shadur, who went like what 11-12 while I was there, or like 12-13, whatever the record was. Like wasn't game breaking, and I'm not saying he wasn't a good quarterback because he got sacked a lot. Their lines weren't great, but he had good receivers, and his dad was his coach, so.
Tampa
Uh,
Bay, the
and
pick is
Mika
in.
Ibuka, wide receiver from Ohio State. Good for them.
Pick the
Mike
wide
Evans.
receiver for Baker.
Mike Evans getting long in the tooth, and then their other
Yeah.
receivers usually hurt all the time, so that's a good pick. Mike Evans, good God, didn't see him coming out and have a Hall of Fame career. He's going to go in the Hall of Fame. It's like 10 or 11 seasons with fucking 1,000 yards every year. Crazy. Adam, are you alive? What's going on over there?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
I
I just
heard
don't
him
want to get
chime in.
booted again.
What's that?
I just don't want to get booted out again.
Oh, I
Oh,
understand.
you're cutting out a little bit.
Oh yeah, Adam's frozen at the moment. That sucks.
Trying to see what old Twitter is talking about, if there's any Vikings news on the clock.
Denver's on the clock. I think Omari and Hampton is a great pick for them. They need a running back. North Carolina royalty. He wrecked the offense last year.
I messaged my friend Jeff when Seattle was on the clock, and he is really pissed because I like as a Seahawks fan because Seattle has like Tyler Lockett and like all their big fan favorite guys they've let go, and
Yeah.
like so he's really like pissed with the team right now. I was like, hey, that's a good pick from Seattle. We're talking about him right now live on the podcast. He goes, I'm not even watching. Fuck football.
I like their little receiver they got from the team. Smith and Jigba. Man, he's going to be really good. I think he came out the same year as Addison because we were watching that preseason game there.
Yeah.
That was a good pick for them. It's time. DK wasn't working there, and Tyler Lockett's old. Like you gotta move forward. I get it.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about too the other day when Jeff and I were hanging out about how I was actually kind of thankful that when the Vikings went through their rebuild, they picked one off season to just kind of rip the band-aid off and like, hey, we're gonna get rid of Adam Thielen and Eric Kendricks and a couple other like established veteran like fan favorite players who had been with the team for a while, and they kind of did it all at once. And Seattle has been like slowly over a couple seasons, like slowly pulling that band-aid off. And that does suck for a fan to like watch your team do that. And like I know Geno Smith, yeah, he brought his career back in Seattle, but I can't imagine if you were a fan of that franchise, you would like really truly be excited to have Geno Smith be your quarterback. You know what I mean? That's not
Right.
fair to him, but like you're not excited about that, not really.
was going to make a point. Oh yeah, speaking of, I was talking about the running back from North Carolina. He was the offense last year. Mac Brown's last year. Now Bill Belichick's there overhauling the system. He's got a who's who of coaches there too. It's crazy. Found out the next season in 2026, UNC versus TCU is going to be played in Ireland. They're taking college football overseas, so that's cool. Oh yeah, this one sucks. This is definitely the bust of all busts here. Wish we got Kyle Hamilton. Instead, we got stuck with Scene and Booth. Ugh, that was a rough one.
How weird is it that Bill
Bill
Belichick?
Hamilton doesn't have a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, there you go, Adam.
It's true.
How weird is it that Bill Belichick is on your college football team as their head coach, Smith?
I love it. I don't expect him to win a national championship because I realize how hard that is, but I do believe with
But he's also Bill Belichick.
he's expanded
So
the playoff. The playoffs have expanded. I fully
yeah,
expect him to be in the college football playoff within 3 years. Probably within two, if we're being honest, because the way that he's going to run the team is going to be a lot like what you saw Michigan do with JJ McCarthy. He's going to build the lineup, and they're going to strategically take away everything. And you'll have growing pains the first year, but it's crazy, man. He's going to bring.
no, you are 100% correct. At the college level, Bill Belichick is going to roll that clock back to about 1963. Get ready to run the football every single play.
I like it. I think it's the way to go. I don't think you have to
Yeah,
overcomplicate in a gadgety kind of system and in a world where things aren't exactly like the NFL. You can get away with some other things. Um, I think if you decided to go old school there, it could pay dividends. So I'm interested to see, but he's got a lot of good coaches on that staff too, and they gave him the keys to that kingdom. There, they were like, "Do your thing, sir." So I'm excited
yeah.
to see them win a bunch of games, 20-17. If that makes them worth a shit again, that's cool. Because I've seen my college of choice and my fandom. I've seen them win multiple championships in basketball.
Hey, there's Sean Payton on my TV set. He's so easy to hate.
I've seen my favorite college win national championships with basketball, and those tournaments are a lot of fun. Like each of them individually are awesome, but
Yeah.
football wise,
The pick is in for the Denver Broncos.
Lewis Seen has a ring, but not Randy Moss. That's a depressing thing to say. Now my mood has changed. Thanks for that. So he has traded to Detroit. I told everyone to get away from me that night. Yeah, you can't trade with your division rival. You can't do that.
They're talking about Sanders to Pittsburgh coming up. They're talking about it on TV right now. Ian Rappaport reporting that they were going back and forth as of yesterday about the pick.
It sucks because if Rodgers had committed already, maybe he wouldn't be it, but he hasn't, and he said he's going to take his time. So
I think Rodgers retires. I don't think he plays.
I don't think he needs to come back. It's not that I don't want to see him play football, but like, dude, you won 4 MVPs and you won a Super Bowl.
Who is this kid on my TV set?
Oh.
For a second, I thought that was Hook.
Good reference, Adam. It does look like him. Oh, is this a Make-A-Wish kid?
Yeah.
Should I not be making fun of the Make-A-Wish kid?
He probably shouldn't.
Just so everyone knows, I don't have audio right now, so you know,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going into this completely.
or I don't give a shit. I'll let you guys decide which.
Interesting.
Jahdae Barron, cornerback from Texas. He was one of my picks I wanted. All right. God, Omarion Hampton is going to be right there. Oh, my goodness. And they're not going to take him. They're not 2 years in a row. They're not going to take the player that I want that might be close to being there. Oh, it fucking sucks. Okay.
Hey, fire breather, this will blow your mind. Todd Gurley, only 30 years old. He should, by all rights, still be playing in the NFL at a high level right now.
You know what's crazy too? Rich Eisen was just talking about a show they just did. He ran a 40 with them not too long ago because he didn't run one for his combine, and he says, "Be prepared." And I was like, "That motherfucker probably still runs like a 4.5."
Oh yeah,
It's crazy. He's only 30 years old. It feels like he played forever. He was playing 10 years ago
yeah.
because I believe it was 10 years ago. Maybe it was 2016 when he came out. I know when we had Teddy Bridgewater, they definitely played the Rams while he was there because Zimmer's defense had to shut him down.
Now we are playing a game of will my laptop's battery make it until the Vikings draft, or will I have to dig out the charger and plug it in here soon?
I'm tired, boss. I got to tell you, this is my bedtime, and I took a nap earlier, so I'm really hoping they make a pick.
Yeah, me too.
Pittsburgh's on the clock. I would bet they take Shadur Sanders. I believe Najee Harris went to the Chargers, so Amari and Hampton could be the pick here as well. Just to poo-poo on my hopes and dreams, but they do need a quarterback, and this is a relatively decent draft for running backs. Outside of Genty and Hampton, then it goes down a level. But all you have is Mason Rudolph right now. Like, I don't see how you don't pick Shador. I'm sure Tomlin could coach him up. I'm sure Dion's had talks.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what they're gonna do here, and then I gotta take my charger out. But I'm really curious to see what they do with this pick because you're right. You can't head into the season with just Mason Rudolph as your
Reported that they
quarterback.
took Derek Harmon. We'll see. Steelers, they might end up with Favre 2 or Cousins. Yeah, Cousins is an option.
Jackson Dart.
I forgot about that. We haven't said that kid's name once tonight, and I don't know anything about him other than he is another quarterback name.
Unrelated to anything, but Sydney Sweeney is going to star in the adaptation of something that I have never heard of, but I will watch it because she is in it.
Big Sydney Sweeney
I will give
fan.
you two. I will give you two big guesses why I am a fan of hers. Can you guess, Smith?
Bad connection. I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't lie. Jesus knows when you're lying. Don't lie. Oh, it only took us 2 hours and almost 30 minutes, but we got our first spam message of the day, folks.
Hell
Don't
yeah, there
click
we
on
go.
that link. Don't do it.
Nice. A Russian Imperial Stout. Nice. Let me know how that is. That's good, Andrew. Yeah, Derek Herman. All right, I was wrong. They must have some Rogers intel that I don't know about. You cannot be going into the season with Mason Rudolph.
Who'd they pick?
Derek Herman, I believe, is what we're seeing. It's coming up now on my TV to be official.
Okay.
Defensive tackle from Oregon. He was also slotted into the Vikings pick in several mock drafts. So now we're looking at the corner from Kentucky, which I think Green Bay will take right in front of us if the Chargers don't do that. Damn, dude.
Okay, I have to dig my charger out. Can you mute my microphone while I head out here and stuff?
I sure can. I can just remove you
Okay.
from the scene and we'll jump you back in when you get ready.
Sure.
Sweet.
It's nice to see minutes on the ticker.
Yeah, finally. It actually flew by a lot quicker than I thought. I can feel our energy like
I
draining.
might actually
a
be
little
able to
bit.
go to the gym after this.
Where?
The gym?
Oh, nice. What, do they close at a certain time?
They do, but I got a key.
Nice, dude. I hope they pick. I can feel our energy in the show kind of draining because we've been sitting here for so long. I don't understand anyone mocking a defensive end to us. Yeah, they got their fair share of pass
Yeah, that don't make
rushers.
sense. Well, defensive end maybe in the online. But like an edge rusher, no.
Tackle, I can see. Um, Malachi Starks is there. That's a very good possibility because you have the Chargers in Green Bay. So right now, as it sits, there's a corner from Kentucky, I believe. Starks, Amarian Hampton. I'm trying to think. There's another player that I liked as well.
No, actually, this is a pretty cool story, Andrew. So I was doing physical therapy, and my physical therapist asked me if I could go to gym, if I would be able to, and I said, yeah, I'll do that. She bought me out of her own pocket gym.
You're breaking up pretty bad, Adam, but I think I heard that your doctor helped get you a membership.
Physical therapist.
Oh, nice. Good. I love that. It's people that actually care, you know? I can appreciate that always. The extra effort there. I had a gym like that when I was in North Carolina. I paid all cash up front for like 6 months, and they just had like a little key fob, and you could go at any point, any time of the day, 24 hours. And purposely go at like 10:30 when no one's there, and they give you access to their speaker system, and you could just. I was just in there
Exactly.
jamming like Static X at like 10:30 at night, just da 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 da. It's like nobody's gonna come in here, so I can do what I want. Yeah, that's a good story. Thank you for sharing that. Kyle, I sent you a request to unmute like we did last time. Adam is telling cool stories, and there are some good players available for the Vikings to pick. So I'm excited to see. We were saying while you were gone.
Fiend.
Um,
Fiend. 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 Fiend.
Starks is available. I believe the safety from Georgia, the corner from Kentucky, the running back from North Carolina. So there are good players that are going to be available.
Who has the most red flags available? Let's draft them.
Shadur Sanders.
It's been a boring off season. Who can give us the most drama? Can we do that?
Oh man, I'm gonna sleep so good. This is how old I am, folks. I look forward to sleeping in, and I took the day off because I knew I was gonna stay up past 11. So that's cool. Okay, Andrew said put on some German metal icebreaker. Okay, so did they sing in German? Because I have to know what I'm hearing. That's gonna be thing for me to say. Yeah, yeah, I knew. I fire breather. I know. But you can't lump them in with everyone else.
Social media says Vikings pick at number 24 could be a prime spot for a team to trade up if they want any of the quarterbacks. Spoilers, nobody is trading up for any of the quarterbacks.
You can just get them in the second round and save your draft capital.
Just going to go ahead and toss that out there right now.
Unless you want to do a dumb deal and get a bad value again, which I hope he doesn't. Come on, LA, hurry up. We're so close. You guys keep getting that same commercial or the same song forever on YouTube.
The Chargers need a quarterback.
Do they? They've got they got the guy I wanted to back up. They've got Taylor Heineke on the roster. They're good. They'll be competitive no matter what.
What do you guys think that fake Chargers fan is doing right now? The lady I'm talking about.
That's so funny. That used to be
Oh,
a
yeah.
Vikings fan. She got caught in real time at U.S. Bank wearing a Vikings jersey. Will Johnson, Amarian Hampton, Josh Simmons. We don't really need a tackle, so I do like the idea of a safety. Yes, that's what they should do. Malachi Starks.
Excuse me.
They got options. Just depends on who they have graded so high at this point. As long as it's not a dumb reach, I'll be happy. Harbaugh, are you sending the pick in with a Nokia? What are you doing? Why are you taking this long? That's the thing I don't understand. I know I can understand fielding calls for trades, but You guys have had 3 months to do homework on this, and you need to take the full 10 minutes to make a pick that day. I don't understand that at all. Hurry up, man. You should have 7 or 8 escape plans for everybody that you thought you were going to get that's gone now, or people that are still here. You're like, I don't know which one's graded higher. Come on, dude.
Who that lady singing "Don't Stop"? Whew.
I don't hear anything. I'm not sure. You did make me think of for the very beginning of the year, for like all of January and February, when I got on YouTube, they kept doing Fly Emirates, and they had the same, literally the same commercial would pop up every time, and I'm like, just for spite, I'm never gonna fly Emirates now because I had to listen to this fucking commercial 3,000 times. I'll purposely fly Qatar Airways or something just to spite you.
And now we're in the Billie Jean.
You gotta get those ads in. Chargers are stupid to leave San Diego. That's hilarious. Yeah. San Diego's cool. That's funny you said that. I've actually been to Qualcomm Stadium. It was pretty nice. It's funny hearing Julian Edelman talk about Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego, and talking about how windy it used to get there when they used to play. He said he liked playing there as an away game. That's an underrated podcast too, and I think it's Games with Names. He's had some really good guests on there from the Patriots. I think Matt Light talking about playing pranks on Bill Belichick is my favorite story of the year so far.
All of a
8 seconds
Like a
left.
live band because this lady singing Billie Jean.
all of a sudden, it is raining outside behind me right now.
I'm texting my brother talking shit now. Fuck your team for taking so long to make a pick.
Yeah, it really shouldn't take that long to make a pick.
My little brother's in Vegas for work right now. He said he's going to watch the draft at a casino. Good for you.
The pick is in. It should be.
He said, y'all know Minnesota's going to trade down. I won't be mad. Don't do that to us, Scott. I do not want to sit
Yeah,
here for 3
They're going
hours.
to.
I don't want to sit here for 3 hours just to not have something to talk about.
Vikings are going to trade back with probably Washington, and then they're going to trade back again with Kansas City, and then they're
That's
going to
the
be in
worst
round
case
2.
scenario for us. That means we have to stay here for the whole show.
Yeah, I know.
God, that sucks. Why would you do that to us, Kyle? Chargers pick is in. Let's go. Hurry up. Mel Kiper and Lewis Riddick and Greeny. Was that Booger McFarland? Kind of nice purple suit. I like it. I don't know how these guys do a show every day and they're so energetic all the time. Pat McAfee, are you on ketamine during your show the whole time? Good God, dude. I am dying
Do you know how
right
much weed Pat McAfee smokes?
now. Or has he called, what does he call it? It's like, he said it's back. Oh, what is it? Prescription. He's got a prescription for that. Omarion Hampton is a Charger. Motherfucker, dude. Oh, now I hate him even more.
Green Bay is on the clock.
Ah, I knew we weren't going to pick this kid. We don't need a running back. Why would I be invested in a player we don't need? Because I have personal fan ties because he played at the college now. Like, that's why. God damn it. All right. Well, here's some highlights of a really good player I wish we got. We can watch those for the next couple of minutes.
Kind of terrible jerseys. Bill Belichick should probably change those.
Why do you hate them? Tell me.
Don't like the helmet.
Oh, I love the helmet.
Oh,
Only because I've been tricked into loving it because it's all we've had is just the NC logo. I like the actual Tar Heel logo. That's pretty cool.
yeah.
Looks like a really angry ram. 5'11", 221. I just watch him run. It's great. Hey, here's the entire offense. Goodbye. uh,
Look at everyone stand up and clap. We did the thing we knew we were going to do all along. Let's clap ourselves for it.
Hilarious, dude.
Green Bay is going to run out the entire duration of this clock. You do know that, right?
I think they will pick someone relatively quick if they can't get a trade back partner. Well, at least he didn't go to a division rival. Thank you, Adder. Thank you for letting me see the silver lining in that.
It is a positive.
Thank you for that, Bronx. I think everyone just heard your burp. Old man burps. You didn't even have anything treat wise in a long time today. That's cool that they're picking all these cities to
Ian
go through there.
Rappaport says at number 23, the Packers are getting trade calls similar to the Chargers at number 22. Could we have a pick coming up? Could the Vikings be making a deal with the devil and make a trade with the Green Bay Packers? Probably not.
And go.
We can do clickbait too. But we can make our own clickbait.
I don't think there's anybody that they want that bad.
Well, Quessy does like the trades within the division.
Oh, that's a lot of fun. And lose picks. Trust me, Andrew says dogs can make burps and farts on command. Trust me, dude. I know. Grew up with Boston Terriers in our house. Those things are like, they have enough gas they could fuel a fucking cargo plane. And German Shepherds are no exception to that rule. Not farting. I usually give my dogs pretty good food, but man, this one here burps a lot. And he always looks surprised after he gets done. He's like, oops. I can't believe that anybody watches this for 3 hours, much less we have 7 people watching right now. Packers fans sure have turned out. Yeah, they don't have shit else to do in that town besides drink. Probably the biggest gathering they've had all year. That's cool though. I appreciate all the jokes aside. I appreciate the rivalry. I appreciate the history of that team.
Yeah, I do too.
Can't tell the story of the NFL without the Green Bay Packers. So I get it.
I tell you what, I'd go to the NFL draft. It'd be fun to stand around for 3 hours and drink and eat stadium hot dogs or whatever. I'd do that.
You say that, but Adam also showed us a picture in the chat of Aquafina being $6 a bottle over there. Are you shitting me right now?
I don't drink Aquafina. I drink alcohol.
Hey, look, there's a woman.
I see one jumping around. I see one holding a thing of cheese. Good for you. Big old sausage party in Green Bay. That's my favorite part.
They are taking the entire clock.
You called it. Dogs are like, that didn't taste like my food. I love how big dogs' eyes get, how they almost kind of come together and cross-eyed whenever you have something they want. He strategically sits by the stove when I cook things, and I laugh. I'm like, no. Go over there. You can watch from afar. I'll throw you something. The fans are the owners. That's hilarious. They did have VP or whoever on. I don't know what his official title is, Brian Gutekunst, but he was on today on Rich Eisen, and they were asking him, like, what's today entail? He goes, I don't do much of anything until the actual draft starts. So we'll take a couple phone calls. He goes, but if you don't know who you're picking by now, he's like, you're fucked. So that was pretty funny. Still, I think you still got to have the party is still out on Jordan Love. Is he good? Is he not? I mean, they're invested in him either way, but what was his contract?
I think he's overpaid.
I mean, definitely.
I don't know. He kind of seems like middle of the pack to me. You could do a lot worse than Jordan Love at quarterback, but like I don't know, I truly don't know how far he's going to take you into the playoffs. I'm also biased. I hate the Packers, so I don't ever want to say anything good about them.
I like their coach. I think that they're. I love that they like. If I was a
Yeah,
fan of the Packers, I
he is
would
a
be
really
so
good young
pumped
head
that I have
coach.
the youngest team in the NFL because if you want to keep players, you can, and if you want to get rid of them, they'll be. It's you're on a cheap,
Right.
kind of trajectory right now, but that's a good way to be as far as like, okay, we're in the playoffs. They won a playoff game last year.
The pick is
Indeed,
in.
nice. But they have a good thing in place to make a title run for years and years because your roster's so damn young. That's good. I'd feel way better about the window of time if I was a Packers fan to make a run again. I text my brother about it. I guess he's not watching the draft. He's like, "We got Omar and Hampton." I'm like, you're not even watching. What a bum.
And
Vikings are on
yes,
the
that is
clock.
correct. The Minnesota Vikings are now officially on the clock.
Oh, I didn't talk about this. I should have earlier. One of my favorite new artists that's came out in the last couple of years, Steven Wilson Jr. He is a country guy, so if you don't like it, he is not your Luke Bryan singing about jacked up trucks kind. He has some very, very touching songs. Good songwriter, very unique voice. He sang the national anthem tonight at the draft, so good for him. He's blown up in the last year and a half. When I went to a good friend of mine's funeral, well, for their dad, I should say, correct myself, they asked me to sing one of Steven's songs for his father, for their father at his funeral. So, yeah, Steven Wilson Jr. on the rise. Green Bay, Texas, Matthew Golden. Is that a wide receiver?
Ooh, yes, it is.
It is. It's on my screen. Oh man, nice. They finally picked the first round wide receiver years after Rodgers left. I've seen Nick Emanwari as well, the safety from South Carolina, mocked to Minnesota. So you have Malachi Starks, Emanwari, and another corner that's still available.
Just announce the pick. Quit
This is so
dragging it
annoying.
on.
That's one thing you can never get me to go to. I would never go to a draft in person. Good God.
Well, what are the Vikings going to do here, folks? Are they going to stick and pick, or are they going to trade back?
I want to know who leaks these picks before they get to the stage. That's what I want to know.
Yeah. I'm waiting patiently for the draft pick that we already know who it is, thanks to Twitter. First time since 2002 when they drafted Javon Walker that the Green Bay Packers have used a first round pick on a wide receiver. 2002, folks.
Wow.
Javon Walker, who I believe had a very brief stint in Minnesota. I want to say Javon Walker was on the Vikings preseason for a very brief, very brief period of time. I don't remember if he had.
Didn't Matthew Golden have like drop problems in Texas?
I hope so.
I sure hope so.
I hope so.
I like the suit.
I do. It's a big chain too.
Yeah,
All right, boys, are they sticking and picking? Are they trading back? Kyle
they're
West, please
sticking it.
break it. Please break it as soon as you see on the old internet.
I will let you know. I think they're sticking and picking.
Nice.
These lyrics to the Packers fight song are great.
I can't hear them. I don't know what they are.
Go Pack, go over and over and over.
They're not very smart people, so the fewer words and sounds and syllables helps.
The
They
Vikings
understand.
song has a lot of words. And the pick is in.
Oh shit, son!
Already?
I'm gonna say Starks or even Worry.
Oh, I know who the pick is.
Was I correct?
Shador Sanders?
No, I'm not going to spoil it. I won't spoil it.
I
Are
want
you
to
ready
know
for
now.
Minnesota to get booed?
It's Smith. It's one of those picks that the Vikings are making that like you will not see an immediate impact. I don't think. Like I think this is a guy that's going to be a future starter for the team, but like right now, no. And so that is going to irritate some fans potentially.
Oh, okay, I
But
see it now.
I do like the pick on paper. I like what they're doing. I think that's an area that you should continually invest in. Uh, no, it's not defensive line, Andrew.
Hmm. Interesting.
Adder, the Vikings don't need a long snapper. They got an all pro long snapper.
I. It's an interesting pick. It's an interesting pick, guys.
I don't hate it, and it
I
says
don't hate. I don't hate it. Considering that the other player at that position was coming off an injury. No, I'm thinking left tackle. No, left guard. Just spoiled it a little bit there too, but yeah, it's
Yeah, he's a tackle guard hybrid.
yeah. Why is Green Bay still on the screen? Come on, man.
you guys can't hear my screen talking, can you?
No, I can't. Are they getting booed right now?
No, I'm hearing Mel Kiper talking, and it makes me laugh because he talks like a doofus.
Yeah.
What's up, Clint? How you doing?
Skull Clint.
What do you think
Here's
of
your
that
spoiler.
pick there, Clint?
Here's your spoiler, everyone. Didn't see that coming, but I'm not mad at it.
No, I'm not. Like I said a little bit earlier, I think that's one of those positions that even if you feel like you're relatively safe on the offensive line, you can always draft one early and sit and let them develop and just like ease their way into that starting lineup. So is it a position that's like immediately going to step in and make an impact? Maybe not, but a couple years down the line, like you have a really good insurance policy, we hope, in place for it. I love seeing all the purple in Green Bay. That's fantastic. All the purple lighting over the stadium. That's the way it should be.
I love that everyone goes to the draft room on draft night, and they're all in suits, and they're not going to have any of those people there until like you could show up to the draft room in sweats and then change when the picks get there when you take your photos. But they're all dressed to the nines and shit.
Can we get a skull chant going in Lambeau right now?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Come on, guys. Get a skull chant.
Oh, that's a booing.
There we go.
A guard from Ohio State, the national champions of this year, Donovan
You like to
Jackson
see
is
it?
a Minnesota Viking. I don't hate it. I didn't have
That's
that
a
on my big board, but you know what?
that's a big boy. 6'3", 315. Ooh.
So they got their ass kicked in the line, and they immediately addressed it.
Yep.
Ooh, here comes
Uh-oh.
Sanders, the Giants. Are you ready?
Houston trades the pick to New York. Wow.
I don't know. I'm liking this offensive line tape we're seeing here from the Vikings draft pick. Donovan Jackson.
Why would KOC be pissed? He's protecting his rookie quarterback. Help me
Yeah,
understand, Fire Breather. He's a part of that decision-making process.
I would hope. I would hope Kevin O'Connell signed off on it.
Talking right now like it's going to be Jackson Dirt.
Yeah, so Donovan Jackson, he played left guard for the Buckeyes. So he could step into that spot. For the Vikings, he will compete on the offensive line makeover that has driven the Vikings off season. I like that take
They
from
are
Ben
fully
Gosling.
invested in JJ McCarthy. My goodness.
Will it be Sanders or Dart?
I'm not saying that the Vikings are going to have like a complete turnaround, like, oh my God, everyone on the offensive line is going into the Ring of Honor and the Hall of Fame now because that's how good they're going to be. But on paper, I really do like all the decisions they've made to upgrade that line in particular. It's been a weak spot for this team for a while now, I feel like, and they finally like actually addressed it. And they're addressing it in a way that's not like the thing that Kyle Smith hates all the time. It's round 5 and we're going to draft a center, but we think he can play left tackle. Like we're
We're
not
going to
doing
start him.
something like we're not doing something stupid with it. Like we just used a first round pick on an offensive lineman. Okay. So he should be like a really good starter for this team moving forward. Like they're trying to address this issue. I'm a fan of what they're doing out there.
So I got a little nugget from my buddy
There's a good quote from Scott out here too.
Buttles here. I said, big ass guard from your Ohio State. I'll take it. I'm not mad at it. He said, he's a stud. He was thrown into the fire at left tackle, literally. Had to block Abdul Carter in his first start, and he held his own just fine.
Oh,
That's all I need to know.
Adam,
Did you find out who it was?
yeah, that can't be true.
I'm excited.
This has to be fake Twitter bullshit right now. It has to be. We're not going to go there. We're not even going to discuss it. No, Nick Saban saying that, he's got the most athletic interior offensive lineman of the draft. Dude, that sells me on it.
The most athletic interior offensive lineman in the draft.
Yeah, here you go. Darisaw next to Jackson is going to be a freaking wall out
Love
there on
that.
the offensive line. Yeah, you betcha, Adder.
Love that shit. All right, let's see. I need to know who the Giants picked.
It's got to be Shador, right?
I don't see anything yet. It's 2 hours ago. They just traded.
What if I told you it is not Shador?
Then it
I
would probably be Jackson Dart, which is hilarious. Well, it looked like from their draft room or
Is
whatever.
Atlanta on the clock, Adam? What's going on with Atlanta right now?
Not yet.
Okay.
They traded up with Houston, right?
Falcons move back into the first round
Or
to the Rams
sorry.
spot. Rams
They
at
traded
number
up the Rams.
26.
So the Falcons traded up with the Rams.
Oh my God. Oh, I know what they did. Oh, I know what they did. Oh shit, this could be one of those moments. This could be one
I
of
can't
those
wait to hear
fucking
how this
moments.
crowd reacts.
Oh, I kind of want to just turn the volume up on my TV set. Hold on.
Wow.
That is the most hilarious thing.
Why does Jackson Dart look like one of the Paul brothers?
He
He does.
does. I was just thinking he looks like Logan Paul.
It's one of my least favorite things that this generation of kids does. They kind of shrug like this and they go, "Let's go!" And it's like, has anyone thought to try doing literally anything else? Because that's all I see these days.
Guys, we're in the middle of one of those moments right now where it's like they traded up for Jackson Dart, and we were kind of ragging on Shadur, but I think he probably has a higher upside than Jackson Dart does.
Well,
I
that's
don't
what
know.
happens when you rub teams the wrong way and you're cocky as fuck in your interviews. I mean,
He's not going in the first round.
the only reason he would
Whoever
is
this
for
is, the
people.
Falcons really wanted them because they threw next year's first rounder in there.
Interesting.
Would they really? Atlanta wouldn't. This right here is why the NFL is the best reality TV show ever. Watching all of this unfold is absolutely fantastic.
I am going to lose it laughing if the Falcons are taking Sanders.
Please take Sanders. That would just be amazing.
That'd be incredible.
Oh, they got Russell Wilson, Jackson Dart, Jameis Winston, and Tommy DeVito. That fucking quarterback room. There's a lot of reasons, Adder, why I think teams don't like Shooter. I think his attitude, man, you're taking a risk. bringing him into your team and into your locker room. And there's also part of that, like with his, it's the LeVar Ball kind of thing there to make a reference for you guys. It's like when you're drafting him, are you drafting Dion into your organization? Like, are you allowed to run your quarterback room and your offense the way you want, or does Deion Sanders show up like in the middle of practice and is like, no, my kid isn't doing that. Like, this is what we're actually going to do. Because you got to remember, Shadur has never been on a team not coached by his dad. I have brought this up in the podcast before too. Like, I think that's a legitimate question. You don't know how he is going to take to your quarterbacks coach, who is not Deion Sanders, Hall of Fame level NFL player. Like, you don't know how he's going to take to being coached by someone who is not his dad.
Well, it's also like how you carry
On
yourself.
a
Like
side
this,
note, the Wild are currently winning 4-1.
nice,
Kick ass.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's also the
Do
fact
it,
that
Wild.
it's tough. I can respect the fact that he got beat up in college and like he's a good quarterback, but it doesn't matter if you get paid while you're in college. The level of play is harder. Very rarely do you see people who come out of college and then they look better in the NFL. And to have that kind of attitude where you're kind of just lackadaisical about it and like you're not taking it serious or you're not being professional, it's your job, it's your career. Like, yeah, there's flash. You're going to have PR because you're going to have publicity and fame, but you still have to treat it like a professional. And there's a lot of stuff that came out like he rubbed a bunch of teams the wrong way. So
Yeah.
whatever. He's not as good as his dad was at what he did too. I don't know why. Like that's the annoying part. Just because you have that last name on your jersey doesn't mean you're as good.
Boy, oh boy, Atlanta Falcons here trading a future number one to the Rams. Come back into round number one. Who in the world are they taking?
James Pierce Jr., edge rusher
James
from
Pierce Jr.
Tennessee. Okay. Going
Boy,
to Atlanta. Going to enemy territory there. Good for you. Baltimore is on the clock. I don't know if you are we staying until the Eagles pick?
we'll see how long
I'm
it
sticking
takes.
around. I ain't going anywhere.
I
Yeah.
don't know if I want to do that. I am fucking tired and we've been going for 3 hours. I don't see the Vikings trading up.
Oh, the Vikings have no draft ammo to jump back into the first round.
Oh
of
no,
this
they ain't
pick.
trading up.
That is
Falcons got the
not-
26th.
But I'm just
overall
waiting to see
pick,
if Sanders actually gets taken in this round.
and the
Yeah, that's what I'm
third
waiting for
round.
too.
The Rams got a second this year. Damn, I was trying to get it before it went off screen.
Holy cow! The player the Vikings drafted played 2,571 snaps, was a starter for 3 seasons, only allowed 5 sacks in his career.
By the end of
Jeez.
this past season, he had put it on elite tape at both guard and left tackle. Extremely dependable, selfless player. He's tough, rugged, and athletic. Excellent football player. I'm fucking sold. I love it. Let's go.
I
I'm
like what they're
expecting
doing
to take
on
a
the
guard
offensive line,
tonight.
man. I like it.
I'll take that. Their secondary is going to get fucking torched this year, but I don't
It's
care.
not like it's not a flashy fan pick. Like, as a fan, you get excited when they draft a wide receiver, a running back, a quarterback, a defensive back. Like, those are the positions that you get excited for immediately as a fan. Like, offensive line never feels splashy, but it pays dividends like down the road in the future. And I think that's what the Vikings are doing a really good job of right now.
Yeah, it would take a trade down for someone to come in and grab a quarterback because these teams don't really need one.
Yeah. It's crazy that Jackson Dart was only the second quarterback picked in this year's draft. You know, previous
Really
years,
weak class.
a really, really weak class. But I mean, typically you see what? 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks off the board
Oh yeah.
sometimes by now. Yeah. I do think there's a lot of truth to the J.J. McCarthy. If he would have came out this year, probably would have been the number 1 overall pick in the draft.
He could have
Probably.
been, yeah.
Yeah.
Wes says a quarterback gets his number retired, and now he may not even get drafted in the first round.
Wow.
Oh, you did it to yourself, man.
So when Dion inevitably gets bored of coaching at Colorado because his kid isn't there anymore, do they just like unretire jersey number 2 and just like take all that shit down, pretend it never happened?
That's funny.
Can you do that? Can you unretire a number?
They took away fucking what's his name, Reggie Bush's Heisman. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
Will they do it is a different one, but that's funny.
Yeah.
He did not deserve to get his number retired. That's crazy. Travis Hunter, I can
No,
see all day. That's a Heisman Trophy winner, but come on, dude.
and I'll be honest, even winning the Heisman, like retiring your jersey after what, 2 years
Tim Tebow
is
doesn't have
even
his freaking
it
jersey retired in Florida.
yeah, you're even bordering on like, okay, I know you won the Heisman, but like I really don't know if you have the longevity to retire it. I mean, guys, I don't even think Adrian Peterson had his jersey retired in college.
I love that Scott is in here doing last name basis on a line that hasn't played together yet, and he's like all in. I love it, dude. Jackson, Kelly, Fries in the middle is a whole lot better than Brandell, Bradbury, Ingram, Questy the Cook.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm jacked
Hell
on
yeah,
it.
man.
I'm jacked on this pick. They picked that shit pretty fast too. They had this in mind. Unfortunately,
Respectively.
at the end of this round, there's going to be some really good teams that get a great corner and a great safety, and Detroit is up
Yeah, with
next
those
after
safeties
them.
on the board, it was a little surprising.
Fuck, I don't like that at all. But it is what it is, man. You got to protect. That's the biggest weakness we've seen, at least last year. When you lose to 2 teams twice, and it's all
Yeah.
basically because the interior of your line gets the dog shit beat out of them. I don't hate this pick at all. Like, there's not an ounce of me that hates this pick. So you have to do what you have to do. Be interesting for Detroit. We talked about this on the show not too long ago, but losing both your coordinators in a year, I don't see, like, I don't understand how you maintain that level of play no matter how good your roster is. Coaching matters, man. We've seen that year in and year out. So it's very interesting.
I think at the beginning of round 2, Cleveland is going to be the team to take Shedeur Sanders.
They could.
Yeah.
They start round 2, I believe, right?
Yep. They got the first pick in
They do.
round number 2.
I mean, that very well could be.
Because you look at who's in front of us. I mean, Detroit, Washington, Buffalo, Kansas City, Philadelphia. None of them are taking a quarterback.
The only thing that would change
Well,
is you
it
can
happened
jump
again.
back. What?
This stupid Baltimore Ravens grabbed our safety.
Did they really?
It's such a Ravens pick.
Oh, Vikings social media is going to have a field day over that one.
Is it Eamon Worry from South Carolina? Malachi Starks. Nice, dude. Good for him.
Great coverage safety. Real good.
Vikings fans would have been pissed if they would have taken him. Well, we already picked a safety from Georgia. It's going to be terrible again.
Right?
He would have bitched either way. Who cares?
The Lions are on the clock.
Boo! You had your 2 years of relevancy. Go back to the gutter. Fuck you guys.
Hey, here you go. Minnesota Vikings on Twitter, they posted, "How are we feeling?" Hashtag Vikings fans. And it takes about 3 comments down
To
to
say
find
Will
someone
Johnson was
who
there.
goes, "Wasted 3 hours of my life for a prospect we could have gotten in the second."
With what pick,
How
sir?
could they have got them in the second?
With what pick, you fucking dumbass? God,
They,
I hate the internet. This is why I deleted Twitter because I would type that out and it would be on a server forever. If you don't know what you're talking about, shut the fuck up. Your First
yeah.
Amendment right should be taken away. Well, they could trade up. Why would they trade up? With what ammunition?
I
This fan
don't
base,
know if you're
man.
going to be able to see this or not, but that's a photo of Jackson Dart being drafted at the same time that Shadur and Dion stand there just looking just absolutely sad. And like
Uh,
Oh
that
boy.
is that's something else.
so they'll take the corner or the safety
The
that's
Lions
left.
pick is in.
They'll take a corner or safety in Detroit. They'll end this thing pretty quickly.
Oh. Hi, Bernie.
I
Oh, here it is. Vikes Verified. Love that channel on Instagram. Donovan Jackson, Ohio State, very first clip blocking Abdul Carter. Playing against
yeah,
Michigan too. Like they ain't playing. It's I mean these are the national champs. They're not playing scrubs, and he's just out here fucking wrecking people.
not like they're playing
I
Colorado.
don't know, Scott. I don't know how far Minnesota could have traded down and still got him.
We could have traded back into the second and gotten a few more picks. Yeah, there's still going to be round one prospects there for sure, but it depends on like what you're going to get out of it at that point.
Based on how quick
And
the
I don't see
Vikings,
Minnesota like trying to trade up into the second. I don't see that really happening.
Andrew has a
I
good point too. If Quessy valued the safety position higher, he would have kept Bynum. It's a good point.
yeah
They
Yeah.
did get
yeah
help at corner. So Byron Murphy came back, and we haven't talked about it as much. We highlighted it on the show, but Isaiah Rogers was a great prospect for Indy, and he just won a ring with Philly. He'll be a good
Isaiah
second
Rogers is
option.
really good.
Yeah, he'll be a great second option there. So really, you just got to hope that Harrison Smith and Metellus stay healthy, and then get some depth with these next couple picks. They might. I'm sure they'll add somebody in free agency too, but this roster is going to be pretty
Wait a minute.
set.
Quincy has a stash? I haven't seen this stash.
What?
what's going on?
I'm used to him looking Wall Street. What happened there? Well, I got to see this.
Oh, I see it now. He looks like that. Do either of you guys watch Severance?
I have not had a chance to watch that one yet, Adam.
Because
I've
he
heard
looks
really
like
good
the
things
actor from
about it.
Severance.
Oh boy, Fire Breather wants to know, who do we take with our third round pick? I believe we will draft a football player who has played in college football, and that's about all I know about what we will do in the third round.
I think that third round opens everything up. You could go running back, wide receiver, tight end. You could go corner. You could go safety. It's wide open.
I think they have to address with the one of these three remaining picks. If they don't trade back and get more, they have to address the secondary. That's just my personal opinion, but Adam's totally right. They can do whatever the hell they want. Um, you've got depth at D line, you've got depth at O line, you've got great receivers, you still got your tight end, all a good young core, and then you bringing back a lot of studs from last year too. I think what Van Ginkel and Grenard are still back for another year. Turner's
Yep.
there waiting in the wing. We re-signed Eric Wilson. I don't know if you guys remember him from a few years ago. We got him at linebacker, so he'll be in the middle there. Yeah, they can do whatever the hell they want. They added Jordan Mason in the offseason as depth there, so they're going to have a good team. Really is going to depend on how good JJ McCarthy is, but I'm excited to watch. Ohio State defensive tackle Tyleek Williams goes to Detroit. Tyleek Williams.
Detroit drafting someone from Ohio State is wild to me.
That is funny. 6'2", 334.
That Michigan Ohio State beef is real. Four picks left.
Woo! That's a big boy that moves fast. I don't like that.
Donovan, okay, here's a fun trivia for you guys. Donovan Jackson is the first guard drafted in round 1 by the Vikings in 37 years. Do you know who the other guard was drafted by the Minnesota Vikings?
In 37 years, you said?
Randall McDaniel.
Third, Randall McDaniel, Adam. Good job.
Hell yeah.
I know my offensive lineman.
I'd say Randall McDaniel turned out kind of okay for the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, he did all right.
Kind of pretty good pick.
I wanted to send you a picture the other day of they were saying the best player on each franchise's team that only played for that team, and it was just sacrilege. Somebody put Mike Tinglehoff, and everybody in the comments was like, "It's Mick, you fucking idiot." Or was it longest, highest number of games played? Because I was looking for Favre because they had like Donald Driver as the Packers. And I was like, didn't Brett Favre play like fucking 300 games? Like, oh yeah, he played for 2 other teams. They're talking about one player, one team, longest streak, and they picked Mick Tinglehoff, but they called him Mike, and everybody was roasting him in the comments. Like, bro, Google is free. What are you doing?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Now
kitty cat.
We got to get careful when we immediately start with the new player we drafted is just like the Hall of Fame player that was previously on the team discussions, because I remember we said, Laquan Treadwell, he's the next Chris Carter.
Remember that guy?
Yeah, remember Laquan?
I remember he had the most crazy random Sunday one-handed catch, and then he just never did anything ever again.
Didn't we decide
he's going to be the next Darren Sharper?
Oh.
Oh no.
Trying to decide where you're going with that one. Didn't we decide Laquan Treadwell is still in the NFL somewhere?
He's still working, still grinding.
Where's he at? Whose team is he on?
I don't even remember.
Well, I have the internet. We can look that up.
My internet is so bad that I don't want to search for anything else while I'm on here.
Oh, he's an Indianapolis Colt.
That's right.
If he'll even make the team. That's crazy. He's been around forever, almost 10 years.
Well, the Commanders probably ain't taking Sanders.
Yeah, probably not.
No, probably not.
I think the next 4 teams will probably set at quarterback, guys.
I like the way Laquan Treadwell's career statistics is like a season for Justin Jefferson. This is like what Justin Jefferson does just like in a year. 111 receptions for 1,242 yards and 5 touchdowns. That's what he's done his entire NFL career. That's like Justin Jefferson in just once. Just one season.
That's Justin Jefferson's quad injury season.
Yeah. I played in 8 games and I had over 1,000 yards.
That's when you don't like. You really don't talk about like the dominance and the shit we've seen in our era of watching football. I remember watching the Adrian Peterson year when he won MVP, and I remember he got 1,000 yards in 8 fucking games. Remember how
Yeah.
Alexander Madison couldn't get 1,000 yards in 17 games,
Yeah.
and Adrian
We've
Peterson coming off a torn ACL got 1,000 yards in 8 fucking games.
we've talked about that on the podcast too, about how occasionally a player is so great that your expectations for what an average game for them are just like like honestly so far above other players at that position that like Adrian Peterson would rush for 200 yards a game or 130 yards a game, and we'd be like, that was kind of a quiet game for Adrian Peterson.
He didn't
He
break
didn't,
one for 90 yards this game. That was kind of
yeah,
boring.
he really didn't do too much this one. Justin Jefferson only had 114 yards receiving. Kind of quiet for him too today. You just get used to it. We were spoiled so long too
Roger.
on the defensive line for the Minnesota Vikings, that particular on the defensive end position, like to go from Jared Allen to Everson Griffin. Like that was a pretty good being able to follow one great player with another one. Would they go with a tackle?
Josh Connerly Jr. from Oregon, offensive tackle. Nice. Protect your
Now,
quarterback, man.
now see when we draft an offensive lineman, it's brilliant. When they do it, what the
It's
fuck,
stupid.
man? Like really, you drafted a fucking tackle?
So my buddy, who's a Browns fan, I said, "Oh, you get Shadur tomorrow." He's like, "I don't want him." I said, "Really?" He's like, "I want Trevion Henderson from Ohio State." I said, "All right, cool." I said, "I wanted Hampton. I'm a UNC fan, but we weren't taking a running back." He goes, "We do. Chubb probably isn't coming back." I was like, "What? Nick Chubb's not coming back? He's a free agent coming off a broken foot."
Ooh,
Oh, I didn't know
ouch.
that. He probably stays there. I don't think he'll do that. Now I hope for Eamon Ward. Eamon Ward is not going anywhere near the third, sir. He'll be an early selection tomorrow.
Josh Allen's going to be put on notice by Shador Sanders.
There you go.
Here's a good meme for you guys. I don't know if you follow Men's Humor on Facebook. If you ever want to kill an hour with a guy, ask him what animals he thinks he could take in a fight.
Here's a spoiler alert. If you say anything bigger than a goat, you're fucking lying to yourself. I've been bitten by dogs that are 70 pounds, and I had to fight real hard to get them the fuck off of me.
If anyone says like
Are we talking
chimpanzee,
bare hands?
Bare
for
hands.
sure. If anyone says chimpanzee, you legitimately do not know what
you have no
about.
idea what you're talking about.
Chimps are like the most brutal fucking animal ever.
They will. I've seen them in all those documentaries on safaris and stuff. They'll pick on the little monkeys and just rip their skin off and rip limbs and shit just for fun. Like, and they're dumb. They're just dumb strong. Crazy.
Not only will they rip your face off, but like they'll go for your nuts. Like they are brutal, dude.
He said I would.
And pretty much anything in the water is going to kick my butt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you got to think too. Like it depends on the animal. Like we could fuck up a dog. Like most of us with our bare hands, if fight or flight, you would probably win that fight to the death. But think about that. Like I have German shepherds here. They're pretty big, right? They have really strong jaws. Imagine how bad a cat would fuck you up if it wants to, because they're so fast and their claws. I don't think about cats biting me. I think about them scratching the shit out of me. That's why I'm not a cat person. I got scratched the hell out of when I was little. I was like, fuck these things. I don't want to be around those. They're mean.
What's funny is we just proved that meme correctly. We could go an hour talking about this.
I always love those proposals about like who would win in a triathlon, and then they bring in like a shark. And I'm like, well, I'm having a tough time deciding if a shark could ride a bicycle, so I'm going to choose the hippo or something. Like, that's so funny.
Rich Eisen is on TV right now talking about potential trades, still trying to hold out for Dion's kid. Like, no one's trading for him. No one's doing that, Rich.
I had to leave that up there. Andrew said chimps will eat your balls.
They will. That's no joke.
Cat
That's
scratch
really
fever,
no joke,
baby.
dude. Chimps are brutal.
Look at that
man.
big ass fucking sign of Josh Allen's head. That's so funny. Oh yeah, Scott sent me a picture of his on Facebook Messenger. Is all the elk that he has. I always worry about elk hunting solo and grizzly back. Yeah, dude, you're going by yourself. You better put an Apple tag in your fucking wallet. Good lord, that's crazy. That's a good point too. Yeah, now we're doing like Discovery Channel shit. Cats are faster to evade a king cobra directly in the face. Yeah, we've all seen all the clips and shit now. Cats will fuck you up, dude. It's funny you ask those UFC fighters that are from around the world, and one of the guys was from Brazil, and he's like, "Oh, I think I could take it. I could beat a jaguar in a fight." I'm like, "That jaguar would kill you in 10 seconds." He's like, "No, you don't understand. My ancestors come from here." He's like, "And we have stories." I'm like, "Your ancestors fucking lied, and those are fairy tales. A jaguar will kill you in 10 seconds."
Or your ancestors legitimately had to do that to survive. And we live in 2025 where we have shit like iPads, and like you don't have to fight that anymore, and we're all soft as shit.
It's weird. The confidence that the male species has, dude.
How the Vikings are done is at their press conference.
Press conference is over already, Adam.
We took a guard because
Kevin O'Connell's talking right now.
We took a guard because you saw how the season ended, and that was fucking embarrassing. Stay tuned for more picks. Who are the Bills taking? Those kids' shoes are fucking nice. Let me get those, old son. You got some one of the people last time a selfie.
Adam, I don't know if
Tommy
you noticed.
hyping up the crowd.
Speaking of shoes, Adam, did you notice the really sweet set of Jordans that Roman Reigns was wearing at WrestleMania?
I don't notice any shoes.
He had a really nice pair of high top Jordans on, and you were like, ooh, Roman Reigns spent some money on those shoes.
All right, let's see who the Bills take at pick number 30.
Shedeur Sanders.
Look at that cattail in front. That's hilarious.
It took a corner.
Maxwell Harrison, there's the corner from Kentucky I thought we had a shot at.
Well, he's got my vote for the second best suit of the evening.
Oh, that's nice.
He's even kind of in buffalo colors, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Boop.
Someone said on Twitter that the backstage area with all the couches looks like they're in a furniture store.
Yeah,
and I haven't been able to unsee that all night.
It does look like they're in a furniture store, and they have a lot of. I love that the players are touching.
Oh, here we go. Here's the trade.
Uh-oh.
Really?
Uh-oh.
Kansas City trading down to the Eagles.
So who traded up?
Okay.
The Eagles traded up.
So the Eagles traded up one pick.
For who? For what? Why?
What? Okay, what Georgia defensive lineman is there that we forgot about? So they can get even fucking better. That's what it is.
Fucking right. What if they want Shedeur?
That's funny.
You couldn't even hold back the laugh. You couldn't even entertain it for a moment.
I don't know, can you push Sanders pretty far?
Huh.
That's hilarious. You know, it's great. They asked Brian Gutekunst about that, and he said they were the one. He admitted, like, yeah, we're the ones that said we should ban that play, and he stomped his foot in the ground metaphorically about player safety. He goes, "Well, I just don't think it's safe."
It has nothing to do
And
with
nobody
It
it.
has
has.
ever gotten hurt on a tush
It's.
push.
It doesn't have anything to do with that. It's hilarious.
I would have more respect if they would just come out and say, "We think it's a boring play. We don't think that it's entertaining."
Well, it's not even that. It's what's the Adam? Help me out here. It's the fact that someone can come from behind you and push, but they can't do that on the defensive side of the ball. Like it's just not fair. If you want to have guys, if you want to stack a person to your left and right and literally clear the Red Sea like Moses,
Yeah.
sure. But to have somebody be able to push you forward, like that's the
Could
argument that
you
I've heard.
Okay, so I don't know. I honestly don't know this. Could you take your guard and could you have CJ Ham line up behind your guard and like push your guard into the defender that he's blocking and do like a 2-on-1? Like could you do that?
I don't know the rule.
If you can't do
I
that,
don't know.
like I kind of get the point that you're making here. Like why would it be okay in some
I think there
situations
are
but
rules against a rugby type scrum, but I don't
right.
know how that would be enforced.
And that's about the
Yeah, I don't
closest
know.
you can get in the NFL to a rugby scrum. And I think that's what they're trying to lean towards there. But yeah, it was just funny hearing the Packers brass being like, it's about safety. It's like, no, it's because you got your ass kicked by the Eagles. So did everybody else. They basically have a play that's unbeatable.
So Eagles, what they gave up a 5th round pick to move up a spot to take someone here.
Right?
Why?
Good question. I don't know.
Oh, so we could take a commercial break. Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted right now.
This new Bills defensive back seems like a lot of fun.
I love that too when you put images or designs on the inside of your suit jacket, your blazer top. That's so cool. It's a cool design though. I want my DBs to have a personality. I like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you want that from your wide receivers and your defensive backs. Like you got to have a little bit of that baked into you.
Dude, it's so crazy thinking back, watching that Super Bowl, how bad they beat the absolute shit out of the Chiefs.
It
Did you
wasn't even a
guess?
game.
Hey, did you guess they were taking someone from Alabama?
Georgia,
Yeah, you're
Alabama, or
close.
Georgia, yeah.
You're close. They're taking a linebacker from Alabama.
Perfect.
Because of course they are. Of course they're going to take a monster linebacker from Alabama.
There were teams in the NFL draft that were refusing to take calls from the Eagles during day one.
Oh, really?
11:31 p.m. from Jeff McClain. Eagles draft Alabama linebacker Jihad Campbell. Ha! The rich get richer, boys. Fuck, that
Yeah.
sucks.
Remember for the longest time I said on the show that like if I was an NFL GM and New England calls me on the phone, I'm hanging up immediately because like why would I do any trade with New England? Like
Well,
why would you ever make
why would you do any trade as the Chiefs with the team that just beat the living shit out of you? I would be like, no, you can wait one spot. We hate you.
Yeah, you can fuck. Who do you want again? Yeah, let's take him.
Yeah, tell us who you're taking, and we'll tell you if we'll trade.
Yeah.
Kansas City needs O line help bad. This was just another Super Bowl like when they played the Bucks, where they just got destroyed in the trenches, and Mahomes had no time. And they looked pretty flat in that game. I think they were a little
Yeah.
fraudulent as far as it goes. Like they kind of had the games before that go their way. I really would have rather have seen Buffalo versus Philly. That would have been awesome, or Buffalo versus Washington.
We're about to enter a reality in which all of the hype about Shedeur Sanders, top 5 pick, top 10 pick in the NFL draft,
Oh no, that just means we could hear about more tomorrow.
He's going to fall out of round 1. Like we're entering a reality where he fell out of round 1, but Tim Tebow round one quarterback
That's
drafted
hilarious.
in the NFL.
Do you think any teams are going to try to jump Cleveland to get him and give calls to KC?
Giants would have been my first thought. I think Cleveland should take him.
Boy, I don't know, man. Like, what do you gotta? What would you have to give up to jump Cleveland at the beginning of round two? Like, is it really worth it?
Or could you trick Cleveland into trading up one spot again?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think Kansas City could trick them. They could say that they're fielding calls, but what are you really going to get for moving up one spot? I mean, the only reason to do it is that 5th-year option. If you really are set on that, you think the value is just there. I don't know.
So if you're the
Well, you could save
Giants,
money on your draft pick by paying a second rounder instead of a first rounder.
here's the
Yeah,
thing, though, man. If I'm the Giants, you know that none of the quarterbacks on your roster are your long-term solution. They're all probably going to be gone after this year. You're probably going to have a top 10 pick in next year's draft class.
right.
Probably will have better options available to you at quarterback. I don't know why you would like reach and try to trade up and draft Shador if you've already passed on him.
They got a 5th out of that moving back one spot's not bad. It's good value.
Ugh,
I can't believe I made it this far. I'm so sleepy.
I'm getting tired.
Jihad Campbell. Let's see that name pop up here. Linebacker from Alabama going to the champs. Got to be pumped about that. Good for him.
Ooh, the player that the Buffalo Bills drafted, fastest player in the NFL Combine this year.
Nice.
That's an Al
Field
Davis pick.
Field Yates. Donovan Jackson to the Minnesota Vikings just might be my favorite pick of the night. By the end of this past season, he had put on elite tape at both guard and left tackle. Oh yeah, this is who put this up in the chat earlier? Was it Andrew or Adder? An extremely dependable, selfless player. He's tough, rugged, and athletic. Excellent football player. Thank you, Field Yates.
And Kansas City's pick is in, so we are not getting, most likely, a Sanders sighting in round one.
NFL just humbled the kid.
Real fast.
Assuming he's not going to Kansas City, and I really doubt they're drafting a quarterback right here. Like, they really just said, no, you're not as good as you think you are.
They just said no thanks.
It's just funny. It's just funny when these guys set up a thing like they're going to get drafted day one and they wait that whole time and they don't. At least he wasn't there in person, but you imagine inviting all your friends over and it's like, I didn't get picked. Fucking sucks. Who was it a couple of years ago? The Louisville kid. He ended up going in the 3rd round. Malik Willis. Remember everybody was like, he's going to go 10th overall. Like, if he didn't go to the fucking 3rd round. Hilarious.
That's when I said you should stop listening to Score North when they were talking about when they were talking
Can't
about
stop listening if you never did in the first place.
They talked about Malik Willis to the 1st round of the Vikings like that was a legitimate answer to our quarterback issues, dude.
To quote the great Paddy Pimblett from England in the UFC, the bunch of fucking sausages they are. Fucking those guys are fucking ding dongs, dude. I can't stand listening. I can't stand any clip of them coming up at all. Especially their little ringleader. I don't remember his name, but he has a punchable fucking face.
I like when they have Wolfson on. Wolfson's good.
Darren Wolfson, yeah, because he's actually in the building. I can take him. That's fine.
I do like Judd Zolgad. I think he's pretty good. He's been covering the team.
Judd's okay in small doses, yeah.
He's been
That's how.
For a
covering the
Packer
team.
fan, he's okay.
Who's
I
the
was gonna say
fucking? Who's the guy I'm thinking about? I can't think of his name.
Phil. You're probably thinking of Phil
Phil
Mackey.
Mackey. Yeah.
Yeah.
God. Shit in his stocking every Christmas, please. Fucking douchebag.
How about meat sauce? You guys like meat sauce?
I have not thought about meat sauce in an incredibly long time, and I'm disappointed that you reminded me, Adam.
I prefer it over regular spaghetti sauce.
He is like Howard Stern for your 80-year-old grandmother.
No, thank you
That's
already.
meat sauce. Yeah. I don't like K-Fan. Am I allowed to say that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, there it is. It's not on the TV yet, but makes sense. The Chiefs are
What is
taking
it? Who do you got?
offensive tackle from Ohio State, Josh Simmons. 11 seconds ago
Does
on
that
Twitter.
mean we can call it an evening? I think that means we can call it an
There
I'm
evening.
a
were a lot of
few.
offensive linemen that went in this draft. I was not expecting that many.
Josh Simmons closes out round one. Major run on offensive lineman. And this is confirmed by 3 or 4 people on the old Twitter machine. We're just waiting for it to be official here on the
Whoa.
screen. Is that Andy
Oh
Reid in a
my
fucking
god, that
button up
mustache
shirt?
is great.
Oh, gosh. We're going to give him the best O line since 2009. You're already claiming that, Scott? That's a bold take, sir. That's a bold take. All right. As soon as this comes on the board, we can round the show out. So the Vikings get themselves a guard in round one. They didn't have to move around, which is nice. I think secondary is probably the biggest glaring need at the moment, but really, they've done their due diligence in free agency, and I am happy with this pick. I think the consensus is everyone is happy. A good surprise, not a bad one. So we'll take it.
Yep, Minnesota has one pick tomorrow in the third round, and that should be pretty interesting.
If a good secondary player is there, I'd expect him to be gone. But the Vikings are probably in best player available mode tomorrow, and don't count them out of moving around. If they can move back and get more picks, I'm sure they'll think about it. I don't foresee them trading up, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with this next pick tomorrow.
Are you guys said that Ed Maynard will not be announcing the third round pick for the Vikings this year?
Who?
Remember when Ed Marinard he that was like 5 minutes long.
Yeah, I remember that, Adam. I do
Sorry,
remember that.
you have to, your internet was cutting out pretty bad. I vaguely remember this. Yes, just remember being awkward. Very awkward. My favorite draft moment in recent memory was Pat McAfee trolling the shit out of Nashville and talking shit about the Titans.
Yeah, that was really good.
To bring a pick for the Colts. You're breaking up real bad, Adam. I'm not sure what he said.
Yeah, I think we lost Adam here right at the end of the show.
Boo for that internet. I'll wait for him to come back before we end the show.
Oh, yeah.
He lets us. He does the sign off for us. We can't steal that from him. But that's cool, man. Hey, Stu Voigt is announcing the Vikings pick round 3. Nice.
Good God, remember when they used to do rounds 1 and 2 all in one day? There was a point where I would sit down and watch round 1 and 2 all at once. This is what I'm going to do with my day.
That's an entire day's worth of stuff right there.
Yeah.
I think that'll do it. We're all tired and my energy's gone, and just sitting in the chair for 3.5 hours made me tired. I don't know how these guys do this every day.
Oh yeah.
Good for them. But yeah, I think we're all happy. We'll do a show next week to recap all of the Vikings draft picks and talk about the draft as a whole. But we just want to say thank you so much to everyone that tuned in. A bunch of my buddies were here. Our regulars are here. Um, it's fun. I can't believe this is episode 600 of the show, and this is year 5 in a row of doing live draft coverage. And what a cool thing that this started during the COVID year when we got Justin Jefferson, and now 5 drafts later, here we are talking about uh, big beefy stud for the interior of the line to protect JJ McCarthy.
That's right.
Love it. Adam, do the honors, man.
Check us out wherever we are. Like, subscribe, comment, leave reviews, do all that fun stuff. In the meantime, stay classy, Minnesota.